Welcome back to Dance's End. Looks like my Photoshop didn't save correctly, so it's not session one despite what it says on the screen. It's session two, and we're calling this one. I forget. Uh,
Secret Grotto?
it should be secret. Oh, I see what happened. That's funny.
It's
Um,
okay in my end.
yeah, it says session one Secret Grotto. It should be session two Secret Grotto. Hilarious. So, last session, the group went into the town of Carden looking for something that they can do to help someone in town. They learned that the blacksmith, Eric Blackthorn, had gone missing, and his brother was seeking out information regarding his whereabouts. The group, as Lord sanctioned individuals, have the rights of the town watch to investigate, so they can enter into establishments if they are empty, to basically perform wellness checks or the like. And that's what they did, seeing that there were some signs outside of the blacksmith that were a bit perturbing. Inside, they saw what appears to have been the scene of a massacre. Um, they. Uh, Wait, it's not even on. What do you mean it's not even on?
It's on.
Oh, okay.
I
I
think it
got
needs to refresh.
I got scared. I get scared easy. So the group eventually found that there was an entrance way into an underground um, lair that led to a very strange spirit forge. Um, as they weren't very capably minded when it came to the aspects of history that were really required for learning more about the spirit forge, they decided to continue into a hole near there that was next to a node of pink crystals that are apparently being mined by um, copies of Eric. Strange, bubbly, falling apart copies of Eric. They descended into the hole. In the hole, they found some mushrooms and a choker. Um, After crossing over the waterway, they are now in a tunnel space. I will mention that the choker in question, after its demise, um, does have a similar episode to it, to what happened, similar to what happened to Eric's coffee. It just kind of melts.
Ew.
Okay.
For all I know, those are supposed to do that.
If you'd like to roll Arcana to know if a choker does that when they die, typically, you certainly can.
I would love to do that.
Do that.
I'm guessing you have to be trained.
I would prefer it. Yeah,
What about nature?
you can roll an Arcana check even if you don't have a
Aria's
training because
got
of
it.
nature.
No, I rolled a 7. I just clicked
Oh.
twice. My sheet is slow.
Bummer.
Why
You
not?
Okay.
10.
So yeah, no one's for certain. This is definitely the first time you've encountered a choker. So you're not sure. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, logic tells us that Choker dissolving into whatever and Eric's are dissolving into whatever is just kind of, that's
Yeah.
too much of a coincidence.
I want to stress too, like the stuff that they dissolved into was pretty much identical. It's kind of like a weird,
okay.
kind of grayish. Like if you've ever had mushrooms like in a container in your house, and like they kind of have that strange kind of brown gray underside for like the regular mushrooms in a purchasable pack. It's kind of like that color, but like liquid.
Mm,
I mean, maybe if we die here, we'll dissolve into that too.
that's what I'm wondering. Maybe
There's only
that's
one
how things
way
die here.
to
Well,
find
let's
out.
not find out, Randy. Let's not find out.
I would like to not die in this cave.
Or preferably at all.
If you have any questions about the space you currently occupy, you're free to ask.
What are these?
More
Mushrooms.
mushrooms. These ones seem to have an iridescence to them, these blue mushrooms. You would know that they don't really have much of a monetary value with your nature trained. You would know that these kind of glowing mushrooms are relatively common in the Underdark and are typically grown by societies or groups that live in the Underdark to light the way. Um,
Mm.
Once they are plucked, their incandescent nature will kind of fall away very soon after they're removed from their growing uh, rest bed. But yeah, they look like they're rather big. They look like they've been here for some time. The same is true with most of the mushrooms in this grotto. They seem to kind of have they've either been here for a very long time or they are being kind of magically influenced to grow larger.
Right. But they mostly all have luminance.
That's right. The blue ones glow, so they
Okay.
kind of create a bit of light. They aren't in a tight enough compaction to kind of create enough light that they can be read by or anything. They're just
Right.
kind of, you can see them in the dark and kind
Yeah.
of use them
Like
to
those
guide
little
you.
like glow stickers that you put
Yeah,
on the wall.
that's 100% accurate.
Hell yeah. Love those.
Don't
So
smoke, don't stay
Tormain, you
behind.
kind of advanced ahead a little bit there. Looking at this situation, it does look like this isn't a horrible place to like defend yourself. This is kind of a tight area up north, and
Okay.
then the only way to kind of come in behind you would be to jump over the water, which could cause problems for someone trying to engage you that way. So this
Mm-hmm.
little alcove that you found, it looks like a pretty defensible location, and based on the kind of debris in the mushroom patch in that southwest corner, your presumption is that the choker was kind of thriving off of plucking more nourishing mushrooms. The lack of orange caps in this space might be kind of evident that they've been kind of eating those in particular. Um, and yeah,
So this would be a spot for a short rest if we needed one.
if you wanted to take a short rest, this would be a sufficient place for you to do so.
Can you remind me if the poison condition requires a long rest?
A
It's for
poison
1
condition
hour.
lasts for 1 hour, so if you take a little
1
short
hour.
rest, it will go away.
That is amazing. And Aria, are you still injured from that situation?
Do you want a
Yeah,
mushroom?
will the mushroom repair my injury?
Kind of. It gives you 1 hit point. She'll hold out a orange cap.
Sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then
Maybe we
she'll
could
eat one of
zip
her
in
own.
here.
I would say, as far as mushroom consumption goes, an orange cap tastes like those pretty generic mushrooms I described but a moment ago. However, they have like an almost citrusy chocolate taste to them. If you've ever had those like chocolate oranges that they sell like
Yeah.
during Christmas time,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like that with a slightly earthy mushroom taste to it.
Okay.
Doesn't sound bad.
You gain one
Yeah.
hit point, and you are considered fully fed for the rest of the day.
Wow.
I don't understand. Okay.
You don't understand one hit point?
My sheet.
Oh, okay. What's wrong?
Are
with
we taking a short rest though?
Yeah. Let's get rid of that
Okay.
poison condition, sis.
that? Okay. If you'd like to take a short rest, I need 2 things. Number 1 is a roll of a d20 from a representative of the party, and
Got
number
it.
2 is go ahead and spend your hit dice accordingly and get rid of the conditions, and also utilize any short rest features that you would acquire.
Okay.
How we're doing experience for this game is if you take a short rest or a long rest, at that point you gain the experience that you would have received in between rests, and at that point can level. Um, so for the current amount of experience that you'll be gaining, for the party, it's a total of 150. So that broken apart and divided by 4 is going to be 38 experience.
Sorry, how do we roll hit dice on here?
Under short rest, it
Yeah, but it says
You could
healed
roll your
0
dice
HP
until you
for
reach a
everyone.
Oh, wait.
Do we have hit die at this level?
Yeah, you start with 1 hit dice.
We have 1.
You have a hit dice per
Oh.
level.
Well, we all rolled a 0.
I will be using the advanced skill trick proficiency in medicine so that whoever rolls for hit die will get 2 extra HP back.
Okay.
Nice.
I would say just go ahead and roll your hit dice number and then apply healing accordingly.
Okay.
Hit dice
let me
for
try
Ranger and
find-
Paladin is D10. Warlock
Yeah, I
is
didn't
a-
lose any HP. I'm good.
Okay. Warlock is a D8. You also add your con modifier, so yeah, just go ahead. I think the only person, yeah, you're all max.
All goodies.
That's a great little rest I
And then
had.
Torme was the representative who rolled a D20, and he.
I
got-
rolled a 3.
Okay, cool. Nothing happens to you during your short rest. The only thing that's kind of noticeably active in this space is across the water where you came from. Every so often, that ruby cap mushroom will just kind of gyrate slightly and dispense spores into the air.
Oh, bad news bears. Let's push forward. It looks like there's at least one way to go, or there's around the corner over here. It looks like there's something, and there might be something up here. Oh yeah, there's definitely something here.
So when you get to this space, and I want to make sure we understand what we're looking at before we start moving past stuff, you can see into the space. However,
Right.
the narrowness of the sight line is very, very unlikely that anyone is going to be able to pass through the space.
So it looks like there's rubble, and the
There is
rubble
a
is
cave-in.
preventing.
Correct.
A cave. Okay.
And there's parts of the cave-in that are kind of gaps that you can see through, but are not wide enough for even your smallest individuals to pass through.
Oh,
Okay.
this part
Okay.
here?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Beyond that, you
well,
can see.
Ronnie's like face is gonna be like right up against the rock, like
Yeah. Look at all that cool stuff. What
So-
is this?
Inside the
Wow.
space here, what you see is a massive hole in the center of the floor of a large cavern structure. The mushrooms in this space are mostly the kind of latticey kind of mushrooms that are kind of almost kind of stuck to the ground and kind of stringy and the like. But there are also very massive mushrooms. You see some ruby caps. You see some, bright orange mushrooms that you have never seen before in your life, and some orange ones beyond the way, which you would know are known as mushroom wood and can basically be utilized for building structures, wood-like structures underground. The hole seems to emanate a slight blue light from it, but not a massively kind of eerie light or anything to that effect. And the entirety of this space in there, even a little bit passing through the hole that you're looking into, it's covered with spores. And it's not just the ruby cap spores. There's a large mixture of all different types of spores inside of that space.
I'm sorry, in this space or the space to the north of us?
The space that she's looking into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I got my little face pressed up against.
Yeah.
Now, if you would like, you can spend 30 minutes clearing the pathway and you can enter into the space. However, it will not be a quiet affair. So, if there are things lurking about in the cavern structure behind you, or even the cavern structure in front of you, they will probably be made aware of your presence.
And there's all those spores.
You can quadruple that time, so it can be a total of 2 hours if you wish to move the rocks quietly.
Why don't we look to the north, perhaps, and the east? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If this
Haven't
will work.
the spores been dangerous before?
Well, poison.
Good ones are.
Do we have any way of knowing if the spores in that cavern are toxic?
Um,
Would
Ranny,
I
does your
know?
nature ability help with that?
There are ruby cap spores mixed into the other spores, so on a minimum, they are poisonous because of that.
Mhm. So the fact that there are the red ones in there, yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, probably.
Maybe we should avoid it for now.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you
We can
progress
find a different
northwards,
way.
you start to hear water kind of crashing
Oh,
into
nice.
the stream up ahead.
Nice.
Looking into this pile, you can see more iridescent mushrooms, more kind of just base mushrooms is what you see. And if you'd like to kind of search this specific patch, you can go ahead and make a nature roll.
Yeah.
Not me. I mean, I guess I could. I'm proficient in nature.
Oh, I'm not poisoned anymore, but still 8.
Okay. So yeah,
11?
nothing looks like it's worth noting here.
How
Tormain,
deep is this water?
it's relatively deep. You aren't certain how far it goes down. It does look like in some places you can see rocks, but you're not sure whether they're at the bottom or jutting out from the sides. The water's not moving terribly fast. It looks very cool and crisp. And you can kind of look down the pathway here on the right side and see that there's a waterfall that it seems to be coming from.
Mm.
That being said, looking out across the way, you see movement. The movement in question appears to be a very strange thing, floating kind of like a balloon in the air.
It's a flump.
It is a flump. You see the thing kind of floating in the air. It looks like, it almost looks like a mushroom with tendrils kind of hanging from the bottom of it, and then 2 large eye stalks that ascend from the top. Its mouth looks kind of stupid. It looks like a very dumb
Aww.
creature in the face. I don't mean to be mean to it. I mean,
Really? Because it seems like you do.
and nobody likes them. They actually,
Aw.
God should have
But
never
they're-
allowed them. I
Oh
think
my god.
it's what
Oh,
most people
a
are
lot of
saying.
editorializing from the DM.
Terrible.
So you see these.
Now we have to adopt it.
Pathfinder.
Now we have to adopt. Now that's the mascot, right?
Yeah.
There are several of them on the opposite side. from what
Okay,
you can see.
you want to shoot it?
What?
They are not technically like
What?
egregious towards you.
Oh.
I can
They're
go
just
ahead and
hanging
show you.
out.
Oh,
a flump.
flumps! I've never heard of a flump before. That's kind of cute.
Right?
It's
Why
like
are
a
we
jellyfish.
shooting him?
Okay,
Cute.
okay. I mean, honestly, Randy, I didn't realize they were so cute. Otherwise, I'd never. Well, that's bad, isn't it?
Sure. Cute.
Okay.
It's like
They-
a jellyfish,
They
but
seem to be
outside of the
floating
water.
there. As you kind of look at them and kind of have that reaction, Tormain, of, wow, so cute. You hear in your head, oh, hi. Nobody else hears it.
Really? Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
Me? I'm Dez.
Pleased to meet you, Shez.
And I you.
Are you one of these creatures that are speaking to me telepathically?
The face that's kind of like, the creature on the face, the eyes are kind of looking at you, and the mouth kind of turns into a weird smile. Yes. Me.
Are you
I
you
am
going to
speaking to you in
Oh.
your mind.
Are you going to try to eat us?
No.
Are you lying?
No. Never.
So, eventually, Termaine is going to start speaking his answers out loud. So the group is going to hear just half of that conversation.
And so,
Uh,
as you're speaking out
Are
loud,
you
you're obviously
okay?
formulating the words. So
Mhm.
what you're engaging in is actually going to be a very funny kind of synekinesis of like mental acuity to verbal speech. So as you, a human being who's also a former English professor, know that when you think in your head about what you're going to say, the thoughts of what you're going to say kind of come before the words that actually like drop out of your mouth. So the
Mhm.
flump is actually responding to you in your mind, cutting you off from saying what you want to say. And
Oh,
you kind of got
okay.
this like, ah. So as you're trying to talk out loud, it's like, so let's say you're like, oh, and what about your friends back there? Is the sentence that you're about to say, but you already thought about it, and it says, oh, they're with me, and just as you're trying to talk, it interrupts you.
Okay, got it. So it's not working out. So then I would just say one of them is talking to me telepathically.
Did you
They can do
inhale
that?
too many mushroom spores again?
No, Saul. Well, maybe. I mean, I
Um,
was just poisoned.
is like knowledge and arcana helpful to know more about the flump?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay,
It says he says his name. It says his name is Shez.
I rolled a
Oh,
21.
they have names?
Apparently so.
So, what you would know about plumps is they are creatures that exist in the Underdark, which is in our campaign setting known as the Foul Deep, and
Mhm.
they are creatures that will glow when they are kind of like engaged, like this one happens to be. They're telepaths. They can speak to others telepathically. They kind of look like jellyfish, but like more corporeal than or less gooey. Um, they are sensitive to the emotional states of nearby creatures. They seek out good creatures, and they
Oh,
typically will retreat from evil creatures. The way that they sustain themselves is they are psionic siphons. What that means is
oh
they
boy.
will suck mental energy
They're energy vampires.
from psionic creatures alone, such
Oh,
as
okay.
mind flayers, aboliths, githyanki, and githzerai. They are passive parasites.
Okay. Got it. So we
So
like this. We like this.
well, you don't know that. I didn't
Are
say
you
any of
gonna
that
say?
to you.
Oh, are you gonna tell us?
No.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, these things come up from the foul deep. They gravitate towards the good. They're telepathic, obviously, as you've experienced, and they feed off of psionics. So, yeah, I mean, they're typically not harmful.
Uh,
I don't think it's.
As you're talking, you hear like a
Mhm.
chime sound in your head, which is kind of like the sound that Microsoft Teams plays when someone like joins a channel.
They are evil.
No!
They are evil. I knew it.
Right.
And you hear "Oh hi" in your head as you're trying to finish that last thought.
Oh,
Oh, gee. So you hear
Oh,
it too.
and
Okay, got
sorry,
it.
Tormain,
Carry on.
you hear "Oh hi" as well as we've created a group chat
Group call.
of
Right.
psionic
Right.
connection.
Okay. This is
Oh
Shez.
hi, Arya. They don't
wait,
say her
am I
name.
connected in to
Yeah. Yeah.
their
Yeah.
group chat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It's
hear the
group
chime,
chat.
and
Yeah.
then you hear Shez say "Oh hi" in your head, in your
Oh,
heads.
it's good to meet you, Shez.
That's right. I suggest being very cautious down here.
Can you tell me more about that?
Of course, we are here because we are currently feeding. And then all of them in unison that you see their mouths kind of like open just slightly and a tongue come out. It's like a blue tongue that just kind of licks the mouth. They don't really have lips. Kind of like licks the mouth. We are currently devouring the essences of a creature that resides below. And you get a vision of almost like reflexive. You've seen the pit, so the pit is brought up. It's like someone kind of reached into your memory just slightly to kind of contextualize. So the pit you just saw in the other chamber through the rubble
Mhm.
wall,
Mhm.
that's what they're saying when they say below.
So, what creature is down there?
Utag Hulb.
Utag Ulb. Got it.
And then, almost as if like in a very strange kind of unison, you actually hear, those of you who are not in the phone call, all of the flumps kind of in chorus. Utag Hulb. That's what they
They
sound
know
like
that
when they're
name
not doing
too.
psychic.
They seem very popular down here.
I know. I wonder who it is.
You
Eric
must,
You
was
were
saying that name.
Shit. Sorry. Please ignore that.
you must be very careful. Utag Hulb consumes the flesh of others and can make more of what it consumes.
Is Utagul a mushroom?
You hear like a giggling, but almost like a childlike giggling in your head. It's like that creepy kind of like audio file of like the girl laughing, like a, like I don't know the name of that audio file, nor do I have it on standby, but that laugh,
I
um,
quit.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
and then the Shez responds, "No, I don't think so."
And it can make copies of other creatures.
Yes, Utag is and then you, both of you who are in the psionic phone call, have this kind of strange sensation where like you almost like it's almost like blacking out for a moment, as like it seems like whatever was being kind of sent over the airwaves there was censored.
okay. Okay. We met two of the copies. They seemed very angry.
Utag seeks to free itself of this prison.
Who imprisoned it here?
I do not believe that it was someone intent on imprisoning Utag specifically. But our ancestors tell us of a time called the Great Boom Bam.
What?
And then all of them at the same time. Boom Bam. And then there's kind of like this mental image, almost like a cartoon reel that plays of what looks like rocks falling. In context, historically, everyone is aware of 100 years ago, in the time of the early Wizards War, the Hell Maw was formed because it fell into the earth.
No idea how that happened.
Mm.
You
Who
know,
did that?
in all honesty, what's funny about that statement is you think you know, but you have no idea. Like you, that's the funniest part about that. It's like, haha, I did that, but did I? And how did that happen? Like you,
Maybe it was Utagul the whole time.
I will say this: no, it was.
The
All I
earth
know
got
is that
chatted.
this session is going to make for some great doodles in my journal.
Yeah, drawing flumps already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me
No.
too.
I love that the question in the chat was, "Are they edible?"
You
Who
know,
the heck is that?
The flump?
They are.
Yeah, who is Fulthia?
is that Kimmy?
It sounds like Kimmy.
Kimmy,
Sounds
how
like a
dare you
question.
show your video on Tuesday?
Yay, Kimmy!
But I will say they are very tasty, according to those who have any knowledge of them. They're typically considered intelligent, though, so there might be some kind of
Questionable.
stigma.
Like moral taboo?
moral
Yeah.
taboos about eating
Okay.
them. But
Renasil will tug on why did I just Terramain's shirt and ask them if there's any orange cap mushrooms over there.
and then you
Oh.
hear the chime. Ding. Hi, please leave us be. Do not come over to here. It is safe for us. There are no things we would be willing to let you have here.
No orange cap mushrooms?
And as you're thinking about it, like, the only thought you have is kind of like a strange sense of, like, defensive aggression as they all start moving towards the front.
Oh.
And their
Okay,
colors start to shift from, like, a bluish color to, like, a light kind of pinkish color, similar to the
Hey.
shards of the crystals upstairs.
What did you do?
I just wondered if they had any orange cap mushrooms. They're really
Clearly
yummy.
don't want to get you to have those.
I wasn't gonna hurt them. She'll take a step back.
They kind of slowly kind of become like a light blue. And some of them kind of like are looking at each other. And then they kind of float apart. Like, for a second there, it looked like they were very serious. And now it's just like, derp. Like derp-faced jellyfish. Like, imagine someone put googly eyes and dumb smiley faces on all of the jellyfish at like a aquarium. And that's what's happening.
I'd go to see those.
I wonder if we should heed their warning.
They seem pretty honest. I like them.
They seem fine.
Arya will reach out and ask, what is that crystal that the copies collect?
They seek to remove it all and break it. The reason why they wish to do this is because Utaglu cannot pass beyond the stone's barriers.
Oh, we need to protect that then.
We cannot either, but we have no desire to.
Should we strengthen the barriers?
That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Looks at Soul. I don't think we want that Utagul to get out.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer it stays popular down here and not up there.
Mm-hmm.
Ping, Soul is out into the voice chat.
Teams.
Ba-bam.
God
Ba-bam.
dang it.
And then you see a text message pop up on the side, Soul, and it says, yeah, I was just looking at your activity. I just wanted to make
Oh,
sure
God.
you were okay.
Seems you're trying to strengthen an arcane barrier. Would you like help with that?
The Clippy.
Clippy comes out great.
I will
Oh,
say
they should bring Clippy back.
that for those who are kind of looking over this way, the waterfall is probably about 10 or so foot drop. It's not like a heavy flow, it's kind of like a light burbling, but it looks like this area here, kind of beyond it, is kind of like it's almost like a cliff structure in the waterway, kind of set between two waterfalls, one here and one kind of here. So if you wanted to kind of swim and make your way that way, and then climb, you might be able to get up to a different area in the space.
I kind of have the feeling that we've seen enough. What do others think? Don't want to be poisoned.
Well, the water is a great barrier for that.
For getting poisoned?
A great barrier against getting poisoned. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
the more water that's in the air, the less spores are able to linger because it's being
Right.
pressed down by the battery of water.
Okay.
We could also dip our scarves in, or like a piece of clothing in water, and then put it over our face when we walk through.
Make a
the
survival
mushroom.
roll.
To know if I know that?
No, you know that, but I want you
Oh.
to do it to see if you apply it correctly. So you wouldn't have had a
Oh.
penalty. Just make sure to take
Oh,
the penalty. But at
forgot to do
23,
that.
you would not only be able to know that water-soaked scarves would be helpful in the breathing process when it comes to spores, you'd also know that the application of like a full mask to cover close to the eyes would also be beneficial because the spores can also get into the soft
The
areas
pupil,
of the
yeah.
eyes. So if you are to do this, you will have disadvantage on perception checks, and you'll have to yell to be able to kind of talk at a normal level because you're muffled. But other than that, you will basically be defended against the spores.
Fine if we go back through the poison mushrooms. Or find more.
There does seem to be a lot of them.
Just in that room and on the side over there.
Well, I guess, in coming down here, we have kind of figured out what's happened to the blacksmith. But how did do you think the blacksmith came exploring, was consumed by that thing, and then...
Gloob, yes. And then
Gloob.
copies were made of it. And that's what we basically destroyed the copies, it seems.
Well, at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
So what do we tell his brother?
That he got hurt mining by a unknown entity?
So
Don't
we
go
lie.
down there. We lie?
That's not a lie.
Oh, wait. That's not a lie. Okay.
I mean, it sounds far-fetched, sure, but...
We're just omitting some details.
I mean, we could tell him that it was this Utagul, but... I don't know that we have to.
I worry about the curiosity and greed that can arise from, unexploited resources like these. Certainly don't want, people coming down here and getting hurt.
So, I mean, we could just tell another truth and say we didn't find a body.
Okay.
And we could seal this place off if we except for ourselves if we need to come back down here.
Right. Okay.
So you seem to know a lot about this kind of thing. What do you think?
I wonder if the blacksmith came down here because of those crystals.
They are very shiny.
Did we pick some up?
Yeah, but you threw them, I think, at the copy at the board.
Okay, well, on our way back, let's collect some and see if we can find someone to identify it for us.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Can
Right.
we stop at the bakery on the way home?
And what about that? So what do we do?
Laugh at
What do
me.
we do with the blacksmith house?
Termon Termaine is just like, shut the fuck up.
If anybody goes into the blacksmith house, they'll find a bloody mess.
Well, no one's supposed to go in there.
I mean,
I'm not going to clean it up.
somebody's gonna have to go in there at some point.
No, they're not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, eventually it'll start to smell, won't it?
I mean, it already does.
And I don't want to seem crass, but there was that really great sword there, and if no one is going to be using that sword, it might be worth checking out.
Termaine!
A quick note. I just want to make sure something is very, very clear. I want to put this on the table. That would be considered theft, and you would all understand that. So I just want to make sure that that is very
Yeah.
clear.
So
You can
what I'm
definitely,
asking.
you could definitely
So
steal
I don't want to
shit.
steal. No. I don't want to steal anything.
Okay.
I would
Termaine,
suggest that we ask his brother.
Termaine, that would be considered stealing.
Well, as a paladin, of course, I would never do such a thing. I stand by my oath.
We should ask his brother.
Well, we've got to go talk to him anyway to tell him, that...
We can also speak to the watch about keeping things kind of quarantined.
Right. If the blacksmith was brutally murdered in his own smithy, then it surely isn't safe for the common folk to be coming in here anyway. And the guard... Wait, what did you call them?
The watch?
Oh, the watch. Should help maintain that boundary. Okay, well, bye, Flumps.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Chev. And friends.
So you're leaving the grotto,
Yeah. Yep.
and are you leaving the blacksmith as well?
Yes.
But as long as I can pick up some of that crystal on my way out, is that okay?
Oh, actually, sorry. Each of you make a perception check.
Oh.
Let's see what we got.
My
0.
is
No,
so
I'm kidding.
slow.
Oh boy, Tom did well.
7.
Sorry, please bear with
I
me.
finally rolled higher than a 10.
I also got a 7. I also got a
Yay!
7.
Okay. So you find that there is another way around to kind of get to where you're going without having to pass through the spores. But with that being said, you would also note that it looks like you had left the door open to the outside. No one had mentioned they closed it. And from what it looks like, the
Oh shoot.
ladder up to the hole, to where the stones are located, it looks like there are like small little like scratch marks on the bars, as if something with a bunch of pins and needles on its hand climbed up.
Like a choker.
So there may or may not be chokers who are now out
Gosh,
in
damn it.
the town.
Okay.
When you get out, do you close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And let this be a lesson to you moving forward. I'm not going to assume that you close doors.
Or we learn nothing,
That's also
and everything
fine.
gets infested with monsters.
Maybe
Totally
he also just wanted a pastry.
More than fair. So, back to the common kind of just midtown. You can drag and drop your tokens onto the map. I'm totally fine with that. If you're splitting up, but if you're going to one location, just tell me where you're headed and what the plan is.
Okay, Eric is the what?
Eric was the blacksmith.
Eric
Yeah,
was
it's,
Arwen
it's
blacksmith.
Erwin
Blackthorn
Blackthorn.
is
who's
the
Wainwright.
Wainwright.
A Wainwright makes
Ships.
ships.
Wagons.
No, the Wainwright makes
18?
wagons.
Yeah.
Wagons. Whoops.
And so we're across town.
18 would be the marker for the Wainwright's place. That's right.
Yeah, we're across town. So should we take the road, cut across through the forest, or and then where's the bakery?
Bakery's on the south side of town.
Yeah, it's
I
all the
mean,
way
we could.
down here on Millcross. I mean, it's
Oh
easier to
wow, that's
break
really
bad
far
news
south.
with pastries.
It's not that far of a walk, is it?
Yeah, so this is accurate measurements, by the way. So if you were just to walk along the riverway, it'd be about
Mhm.
2,200 feet. So like what, 10, 15 minutes?
Okay, then I think there's plenty of time to stop by the bakers and
Yeah, I'll
pick
get him
up a few
something.
things, and and you know we can. You're right. Um, uh, we can deliver the news with a baked good.
Well, I mean, you could go south, then make your way to Millcross and the bakery, or you could just
Right.
walk along the river and go right to the Wainwright. Then make your way down Little and Red to kind of get to Millcross. So get the baked goods after the bad news.
Yeah, but we want to deliver the bad news with baked goods.
You're gonna
Yeah.
give
And
him
by
baked
we,
goods.
I mean Arya and Ronasil.
So your plan is to, after telling a dwarf that their brother is dead, give them baked goods.
No, first give, then tell.
Yes.
Here are some baked goods. Why are you here? To tell you your brother's dead.
Yes.
This plan can't fail.
Right.
Okay.
That
So
would be the route.
I'd rather be told really bad news with baked goods,
if you
personally.
walk that route that you just mapped out, you'll pass by a couple of things. First off,
Okay.
you'll pass by a small home right here on a lake side. It's a very small lake,
Ooh.
more of like a pond or deep pond.
Mhm.
The house structure looks like it's a mix of very kind of sturdy stone with kind of makeshift thatched roofs on the top of them, almost like keep or fortified home was taken after the fact. Um, I believe that Elizabeth would be aware of the person who lives there. That is the tinkerer who lives at that location. And then, continuing, when you get to this part of the river, across the way through the space, you see what looks like a very strange looking isolated shack of a house with markings on its roof and its doors, which to Arya indicate that this is some sort of powerful Fae's home. Um, in fact, the house has similar markings to the caves um, that your sisters would have lived in, if you get my meaning.
Mhm.
But
Well,
there it
that's
sits,
spooky.
right there on the waterway. Looks like there's a fallen tree that crosses the river itself. That would allow you to come from the side of the river that you're on to that side, if you wish to divert course or not. And I'll assume you're not. So you continue
But
down.
probably not.
You head on to Church Road and make your way south. You pass by the Atavian Church on your right. You also pass by a very nice looking home. And from there, too, you would also see a ravine area that looks like it has another church, but to the more religiously minded Tormain and also more locally minded soul, you would know that that's actually the reliquary for the Atavian Church, not a church itself. And I sent that picture in Discord one time, but I want to make sure I throw it out again. Let's make sure. Yeah, Batavian Reliquary. That's what that one looks like.
Yeah, pretty.
Okay. Continuing south more, you make your way to Millcross. You pass by a very tall-looking fort and a heavy forested area south of that. It looks like there are small paths that run into the heavy forested area, and from certain vantage points, you can see a descent, like a hill-like descent that's tiered. And you would note that looks like there are rice paddies that are kind of present here on this tiered hill down to the water, and also the kind of more sloshy land of the Cloakwood on the southern side of the map.
Oh.
Okay, you make it to the bakery. Let's go ahead and go there. I don't think I have any tokens, but just for entering the space.
Cute music.
Yeah, some of it's actually from Sheipaku, the map folks that were kind
Oh,
of
it's so
highlighted
cute.
quite a bit. So yeah, you enter into the cute little bakery there. And I'll move some tokens around here. Cross over a nice little stone bridge, and you can see that the cute little bakery is open. You enter in, and yeah.
I love this.
It's relatively upbeat and busy. There's quite a few people who are kind of entering in, exiting out. Big bright windows. You can see inside all of the baked goods. Looks like the shelves are specifically pointed like in your direction, but also when you come inside and look at the backs of them, they're perfectly viewable there. How they do this is a mystery, possibly some sort of magic or chicanery. The shelves are absolutely packed to the brim with what appears to be freshly baked goods. There's some stiff, some soft baguettes in a massive box in the center. Some of them are as tall as Ronnie. Some of them are just, normal size. But the space is very, very quaint. And like I said, very kind of occupied. If the tables look like they have stuff on them, just assume that there are people at them. For the time being, they are not terribly important. And then that was enough stalling, and I got to where I needed to be. Perfect. The best of this. The individual behind the counter, which is a relatively lower counter, but you realize that the space on the opposite side of the counter is offset. So you're on a wooden floor, and they appear to be on a tiled floor that's slightly uplifted from that position. And the individual that's talking to you is a halfling. And if you are local or familiar with the bakery, this would be Lonk Green Bottle. And he says, hey, how's it going, everybody? Is there anything you're looking for? Take some time to follow your eyes wherever they lead you. Plenty of baked goods, some sugary treats, some savory tarts. What you have you all about? You can take a gander. You're talking, Tom.
My friend over here seems very, very interested in some pastries.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, most folks are. Okay. Well, what are you looking at? Anything in particular? I can make some suggestions.
Do you have any tarts?
Yeah. Points over to a space where you can see a number of different tarts.
Could you put me on the map, John? Thanks.
You're on the map.
You're
Why
over
is yours
here.
broken?
I don't see anything.
Because yours is broken.
Oh no.
No.
Ooh. How about now?
I love these stupid little details like this. Like
No.
Spilled milk.
Mm-hmm.
That is so fucking
Oh,
stinky
Yep,
cute.
yep. I'm there.
So he's not currently
I know.
wielding a dagger. It's probably more like a cooking knife, and he's also not carrying his stone of good fortune up like he's an
Long.
idiot. But
That is so
Long.
Long looks to you as you're going to pick and looking at the darts, just kind of patiently waiting for you to choose something.
I wonder if there is a particular sweet that could help someone swallow a bitter reality.
As you're saying that, Long kind of looks at you confused, and a person that looks almost exactly like Long comes across, but his head's a slightly bit more wider, kind of walks over, and this must be Lunk, Long's twin brother, and he's also not wielding or brandishing weaponry, but he
Yeah.
walks over. Yeah, fuck around and find out. He walks over and says, sorry, nope, we don't sell ale or booze here. And then Lunk goes, and they both have a good laugh between the two.
Well, that's
Such a good
point.
idea.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
We're
What goes
professionals.
best with beer? What kind of pastry goes best with beer? I've never had it.
Well, I wouldn't eat pastries with beer.
Or
Well,
bread?
you see, Long says that. Lunk goes, well, you could have a honey mead alongside a honey treat, or perhaps something that offsets it a bit with a bit more sugar, like a and kind of moves over.
What about
to...
an apple fritter?
We don't have those.
Oh, but there's so many apples in the woods.
We don't really have anybody that we know that really gets apples. It's not really our thing. We have and he points to cake
Stop
that has
laughing
like
at me, Shisho.
massive strawberries on top of it. We have all different other types of fruit.
I'll
what
take
would it
five. I'll take 5 honey treats.
Okay. Boxes them up. Wax paper, very nice and neat and organized. Simple, paper box, and hands it to you.
What's the cost?
It's going to cost you 2 gold pieces.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Well, you wanted 5 of them.
I mean, okay. I mean, Octavius, fuck. All right, so
The law
I
is the
pay.
law. You gotta pay tax as well.
I just have to figure out where my money is.
Fair.
Okay.
Could I get one of those strawberry ones and a croissant?
Yep. Kind of quickly moves about the space. You see him reach into a counter behind him and pull out a croissant, and then says, after a fashion, kind of hands it out to you. If it's just those 2 items, it's only going to be 5 silver.
Okay. And she'll look at Arya. Are those just for you, or? Sorry.
No, I was thinking 1 for each, and then 1 for the Wainwright.
Oh, good idea. So it's how many silver?
5 for you.
5 silver.
Tart was 3,
And
croissant was
3.
1, and tax was 1.
Yeah. And silver to gold is 10, right?
Mm-hmm. If you give him a gold, he'll give you 5 silver back. This is important. You don't have change, and don't expect it to you just change gold magically into silvers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh wait, I do have 5, or I have 5 silver.
Okay.
So now I have 2 silver. Thank you.
Wait, you paid me 5 silver.
That's how much they cost, right?
Yeah, you said you have 5 silver. Now you
Yeah,
have 2.
so
Oh, you had 7. Okay.
I had 7.
Fair enough. 7 was never mentioned. I just got confused. That's all.
No, I said
Okay.
I have silver, and now I have 2.
Okay, well, thanks. They would say if you are heading out, and you would see too that the box with the honey treats on it looks like it has kind of like a soft burn mark on it that shows a smiling, happy kobold with a honey, like the honey dipper sticks, kind of up in the air, and it looks like it's kind of dripping. And it says,
It's so cute.
"Working in congregation with Sneeb's Apiary." And then the address is there. It's in town.
Apiary.
And the cartoonish, it's like a smiling version of this guy.
Aww.
I'm gonna draw it.
I'm just gonna show this guy every time I get a chance.
Sneeb's the best.
I love him.
Okay. Then you're leaving?
Yeah.
Is this kind of Miyazaki coded? This feeling we're having?
I don't know. That's up to you.
Could be.
I want you to love this place, so when I destroy it, you'll feel really bad about it.
Aww.
You crash a fucking airship into it again?
Maybe a couple. There are crash
Second
sites
time's a
around
charm.
here. There are crash sites around here. Okay. Then you move from Millcross to Red Mill Hill Road, heading up, taking Little Lane, past that to Barn Street, and then ultimately to the Wainwright. So some
Hold on.
notice.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Can we swing by the Hunter's Restaurant to pick up a bottle of mead?
We'll discuss. But first things first, you pass by Red Mill, which is on Red Hill, and the Adelaide Shrine is on the opposite side of the hill from that, in the kind of nicer kind of edges of the Cloakwood. So you'd be familiar with this location.
Yeah.
And passing by it, you see that there are elvish structures on the right, which are not relatively a common sight to behold. But it looks like there's also a massive greenhouse in this space as well. If memory serves, yeah. Then there is a shrine on a hill that looks like the hill itself almost looks like a turtle or a turtle's back on the right side. And then there is a massive hole to the western side that kind of is set inside of some rocky structures off to the west. The Barrow. And then this is when you come to take a right onto this space. If you are attempting to go to the Hunter's Restaurant, you would see that there is kind of a quietness to the space. And it looks like it is not currently open at this for some reason today. Now, you're not sure why that's the case. It is a Mons, which is the 6th day is broken up into 6 days. Mons, Tus, Wes, Thur, and First, and then Dan, which is the last day. And is the holy day, kind of like Sunday or what have you. But it's not that. It's Mons, so there's no reason this place shouldn't be open. And
Fucking bank holiday.
it does look like there are no lights in the space whatsoever.
Oh, Hunter's Restaurant's closed.
You walk up to it. I guess I'll go ahead and hold on. I just need to make sure that whatever's happening with Andy's token is not happening anymore.
Thank you.
Maybe they're out hunting?
Well, even if they are out hunting, someone's here to, run the place.
So, the best way to describe the feel as you walk up to it is it looks like the trees that are kind of planted out front were planted with intent. It's like going to somewhere that doesn't normally have palm trees and there's a palm tree. That's exactly what you're looking at here. It looks like the entire space in the front has been cultivated for look. There is a massively beautiful facade before you, and on either side of the gilded entrance are 2 what presumably would be gold statues of a strange creature that if some of you are native here, would know is a colopus. Colopus is a creature that bears features of wolves, boars, feral cats, and reptiles. And these two massive statues appear to be representations of those very creatures. You would know that the Hunter's restaurant, as well as the Hunter's Lodge, it's owned by a group known as the Order of the Colopus, the Hunters Guild. And
Can you spell Colopus?
Calopus. And I don't think I put up walls for this space yet, so we're just looking at the entrance here. Don't move past. Don't move at all.
Don't worry, I can't see anything, so I can't move.
Oh my god, why are you such a goof?
I hate moving.
Okay, hold on.
I'm inert.
I'll lock you in place if you try to move, I swear.
You can see both of my hands.
You swear?
But what about your nerd link, Liz?
Try and move now.
I'm not.
We're locked.
gonna.
You're damn right.
Your grid's off.
No, the grid's perfect. I just
Oh.
copy
Can't see
pasted them.
anything.
You're off.
Chicho's off then.
You're both off. Yeah, Liz, you're off as well.
Okay.
Well, I'm not fixing it.
Update token.
Can see.
Okay, so massive Colopus statues on the side, gilded looking front entrance with like glass panes kind of looking in at the foyer. And then there appears to be a menu and bulletin on the left side. And then if you go over to that, you don't have to with your tokens, you just go and check it out. You would see that the Order of Colopus is currently closed to all non-invited recipients. Scheduling is booked through the month of Falloon.
Oh. Someone important must be in town.
Yeah. But you would also note that what they are describing as the entree for the month of Falloon, what they are currently serving for the entirety of the month, is Red Dragon steaks.
Ugh. Aren't
My
red dragons
grandmother killed a
sentient?
dragon.
Red dragons are intelligent. Some people
So that
No,
means that you
killing-
should be able to eat it.
some people don't.
That means you should?
No. So it can okay,
No.
so
No, that's what Liz said.
oh.
Oh no, Soul can eat them.
Wait, what? Oh, because your what killed one. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you've got to do what you got to do, but eating a sentient creature seems controversial, no?
It can be. But this place does not look like it is open. Also, I want to make sure that the air of this space is very clear for future attempts to walk up on it. This is like the most bougie of restaurants. This is the space that
No
it's
way.
like the fanciest schmanciest. Looking at it is intimidating. It is
Right.
something to behold.
They're not going to let
Weird.
like some nobody just
walk
waltz
in
in
a bottle,
and
buy
order a bottle of
and-
mead. Yeah,
Yeah, they probably don't even serve mead.
they probably don't even serve me.
Yeah, both, all of the above.
Maybe we should try the Tipsy Toad again.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so if you do head to the Tipsy Toad instead, by this
Mhm.
point, with the travel and the time underground, it is closer to noon or just after noon. So when you get there, it is a bit more occupied, and it does look like the main tap room has been opened up to you. So let me go ahead and shift. Why is my brain not working?
Mm.
And then you should already be on this from last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the barkeep is no longer in the side tap room. Instead, there is a young woman who is placed there. And just hop through the window, why don't you?
Oh, was that the window? Oh, it let me go through.
Yeah, because it's not a window.
Holy shit.
But you enter into the space. It does look like there are some folks that are present here. A couple of loggers and a couple of traveling salespeople. And then Physic is currently behind the bar in the main room. He looks quite a bit tired, so you'd also see that he is not the only one present here. Alongside him is an older looking gentleman. I'm sorry, bear with me here. Yeah, an older looking gentleman.
Mm.
Had a bit of a tick in my throat. Still kind of there, but
Uh-oh.
yeah. The wait staff seems to be working. It looks like the cook is cooking, at least from the smell of the space.
Mm-hmm.
Wait staff seems to be either coming in through this passage here or kind of coming in from this side over here. So, yeah, the center space looks like there's cooking going on there as well. Looks like what they're doing is they have kind of like a flat metal, like almost like a pan, like a baking pan, and they're kind of settling cheese on top of it and letting it kind of cook before pushing all of that off with a blade onto a trencher, which is basically a baguette that's been kind of cleared of the interior, and then they take the breadcrumbs and pour it on top of the cheese.
It's rashlet.
It's not. Yeah, it's fine.
It's rashlet.
It's what they're serving.
Sounds so fucking good, dude. Renaissance will kind of lean over the counter in a free space, trying to get
Physics attention.
Physics attention, yeah.
Oh, hey, how did
Hi, we're
everything
back.
go with Eric?
It went okay. Do you happen to know where we can buy honey mead?
Oh, I've got an extra bottle. 2 gold for a bottle.
Okay. Hands him over the gold.
Hands you over the bottle of honey mead. And again, you see the same symbol you saw on the box of honey treats. Sneeb's face.
Sneep's really popular, isn't he?
Well, yeah. Deservedly so. He brings a certain sweetness to the town.
It's true.
You can see that the older gentleman who's back behind the bar with them is kind of looking over his shoulder at Physics, like kind of annoyed because he's like pouring drinks for people at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's just working.
Yeah. It just made him 2 gold. Come on. Well, thanks for this. That's all I needed.
Okay.
See you soon. Bye.
Nobody's eating. You're heading back out.
Yeah. I mean, I
eat a honey treat later. Well, also, I ate one of those mushrooms, so I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
So you make your way
You're
to
good for the day.
the Wainwright.
Finally.
You have a bottle of mead, a box of slightly cooled honey treats, and you
And a
cross.
whole lot of bad news.
It's the best kind, right? You pass over
This 3-course meal sucks.
massive bridge that clears over the waterway. There's a slight water trail alongside the path, a channel that seems to kind of head south along the road with you. But again, it doesn't do anything to kind of dissuade the actual flourish of water that kind of crosses out in front of you.
Yeah,
Shadows of fish can be seen kind of like moving through the space and leaping here to there. And up ahead, you can see a building with a very similar construction to the blacksmith's house, blacksmith's shop. But you can see that there are a number of different wagons, some in different states of repair, and it looks like the chimney is smoking. The lights are on inside.
Andy is having headphone difficulties, but
That's
it looks
fair.
like he's sorting it out. So I suppose we should approach. Right?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. You enter into the space. Inside, you see a man kind of,
I'm still locked.
I
He said
updated.
no.
Oh, I can't believe I updated it after locking. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
How about now?
Surprise hold person. Okay, now I'm good.
Okay. So, you cross over the massive bridge, and you make your way over. The door opens. Inside, there's, like I was saying, a dwarf wearing kind of an apron and tool belt. Both are covered with sawdust. It looks like he is seated at a counter and has been watching you out the window the whole time as you approached. He kind of, as you are pushing open the door and you can hear the chime of the bell, he's kind of shuffling himself off and doing one of these. But it really, one of these, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on the amount of sawdust that is absolutely covering him.
It looks like me and Thread.
And he says, "Welcome, welcome." And he kind of has like forced nature to him. It sounds like he's trying to be kind of, conversational and sociable, but it sounds like you can kind of just get a slight hint that something might be off with him. How can I help you? You need a wagon? You wish to rent a wagon?
John,
Yeah.
would Soul and the family know them? Or
Your call. Again, I'm leaving any kind of things like that up to you. If I kind of jump into knowing you immediately, that will be the case. But most people aren't going to recognize Soul because, like, kid disappeared, things, permitting, etc.
Yeah.
So, Tabaxi got your tongue, or?
So we saw that you had posted on the call board outside the Tipsy Toad,
You hear about my brother?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
He said, "Oh, okay."
So we looked for him, and we unfortunately have bad news. And she'll hold the bottle of meat out.
What's this?
It's for you.
Soul's gonna be in the background just going.
He raises his hand and he says, "No thanks, I don't drink."
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Arya will then, like without a word, just hand over the bag of sweets.
So he's no longer with us.
When was he with you?
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, not us, but like us.
Oh.
He's dead.
You see him kind of like drop the treats onto the floor, like uncaringly, and then kind of shuffle back behind the counter to where he was seated before you came in, and kind of just take a very solemn looking kind of seat. He's dead?
Sensing this is not going great.
Pretty sure.
Did you say pretty sure in response to that?
Soul is gonna step forward and put a hand on Ranny's shoulder. Did Eric ever mention anything about mining underneath the house?
No.
There... Something happened under there. We don't know exactly what, but
Blackthorns don't mind.
something may have mined its way up then.
What? What do you mean? Like under his house? I thought it would just
Yes.
be water. The pond
There
outside.
was water.
There are tunnels and
What?
all kinds of things underneath there.
Have
You-
you? What
You've heard
proof
the
do you have that
stories
he's
about
dead?
the town?
You got his. There was a tool belt that you got, Soul?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not going to be enough.
I mean, that's fair.
If
Oh! No, it didn't know.
you're coming to claim the reward, his body or a
coming
signet
to
ring.
claim.
That's all I. That's all I'll take. And
We didn't find a signet ring?
No, because we just found copies.
Yeah, Eric, we're not here.
this isn't Eric. This is Berwin.
Not Eric. What's his
Yeah.
name?
Barwin.
Berwin. Berwin, we're not here for reward. We're here to deliver bad news. Arya says that as she kind of sweeps up the the spilled.
They didn't spill.
snacks.
No,
Or just the
yeah.
bag or whatever.
Well, it was in a paper box, so
The
yeah.
box. Yeah. She like scoops it up gently.
What's the name of that one Wes Anderson movie? God damn it! Tip of my brain. The hotel one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
like those. It's like those cakes. It's like pink
Okay.
colored paper boxes with honey treats
like
inside
cake
of them. Yeah.
The circumstances of his death were likely violent. I'm sorry that this is how you find out. I'm sorry that your brother is gone, but this isn't about gold.
Well, you're right.
Was
I can agree. However, there are some law problems that now stand in my way. I'm
Okay.
assuming Lord-sanctioned individuals.
yes.
Right.
So, based on your report to the magistrate, they will determine whether or not my brother's will is now a functionary will and needs to be redeemed. I cannot enter into the space until such time as the watch determines that what you say is true. For
Well,
me,
we're on our way to go talk to them next.
a matter of proof would be his signet ring or his body. And you said you have neither. So, I still have hope. Perhaps you are misguided, wrong. Perhaps he's fine.
Well, for your sake, I sure hope so that we're wrong, but she's remembering the
Shock.
blood everywhere and
Shock.
the soup.
Shock is the first stage of grief.
Pause for a second, though.
And denial is the second.
Pause for a second, though. As you're stating that, and coming from your background as a person, like in a player, understand that what you've told him is there's a mine underneath his house, and we found his tool belt. You have not mentioned that there were duplicates of Eric and you had to defeat them. You have not mentioned the details of what's happened down there. So, to Berwin, there is very little evidence that you've presented that would make him go, yeah, my brother's dead. It's the word of 4 strangers who are Lord sanctioned. That's a plus. That have just stated, Your brother's dead. We found a tool belt, and he's apparently mining under his house. Go to the magistrate and prove it. And if they say that that's the case, then I can do something about that. Otherwise, I need the signet ring or the body.
Honestly, I again, we don't really need, we just wanted you to be the first person that we talked to. Something I think that is hard for all of us to say to you is that we found a lot of blood in that house.
There was a lot.
A person could not have survived what we found. So it is possible that Eric is somewhere alive. Based on what we found, it is
Maybe it's
just
not his.
not. Maybe it's not. But we wanted you to be the first to know about what's happened and what we found. We'll head to the watch, see if there is more investigation to be done, and we'll keep you informed.
I appreciate it. No one has yet taken on the case here, or even merited it worth looking at. Everyone's too busy with the Hellmaw as it stands. So I appreciate your time and effort here. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off a bit rude. I can
No
hear
need.
it. I can hear it. I know that I am, but I do appreciate your efforts.
I mean, I would be upset too if my brother disappeared, so.
He kind of did. His headset's not working.
I
I'm
know.
okay. I'm okay.
Yay! He lives.
Oh, your brother
Barely,
gets to live
just
and mine
barely.
doesn't. Fucking.
Yeah, do we know that it's not a copy?
Why are you rubbing it in? Why are you rubbing it in? It's like, actually, my brother's fine.
I tried bringing you meat and pastries, and this is how you treat
You're
me.
fucking sober.
He's a teetotaler. Yeah, he doesn't drink.
And pastries. We
You're
tried
like,
the
are we
pastries.
Are we sure he's
So,
real? Because he is.
This
a
is not
dwarf.
going well. This is not going well.
No.
It is going well. I think it
Okay.
is.
I mean, he hasn't
It's-
tried to kill us yet, so.
No,
that's a
I think
plus.
it had a possibility of going sideways, but I think we've reassured him. We're on your side. We're trying to help, and maybe this is over, maybe it isn't. We'll see.
Don't go into that house.
So Andy, I guess you just got back on.
I just got back on. I'm
Oh,
so
okay.
Oh no.
So basically, we just told him that the house was very bloody, and that's why we think that he's likely dead. He is keeping hope alive that Eric will be found.
Because maybe it's not his blood.
He
Right.
mentioned that the only way he will accept proof of his brother's death is with a signet ring or a body.
The body.
Okay.
And then we mentioned we will go to the watch and oh, why is Soul so little? That's so cute.
It's really aggravating me.
Little baby.
Soul got hit with reduce spell.
So as you make your way to the Magistrate's Keep on the north side of town, you can see this would be a different angle or vantage of it. It's kind of the other side of it.
Ooh.
You're coming from
Fancy.
you're coming from the other side, so the
Okay.
back of it. We're looking at it from the balcony or kind of coast of the river.
Well, if you can see it from the front.
Right. As you approach the two towers, that are kind of standing astride a wooden bridge and gate for this keep structure, this gatehouse, you see an old man kind of lean over the parapets up on the tower to your left and yell down to you, "Hail! No one's expected, but may I ask your business here at the keep? Do you wish to continue on to the palace, or are you here for official business?"
We want to talk to the magistrate, please.
"On what business specifically, milady?"
It's about Eric the blacksmith.
He nods his head. He says, "I'll be down in a moment to treat with you." The old man
Thank
comes
you.
down, eventually kind of popping out of a side door here, and walks over. It says, "I'm Billiam Sharp," and offers his hand to shake whoever is close or near to him. For the
She'll
ladies,
hop ahead and shake his hand.
yeah, if you shake his hand, like he'll take it. But for the ladies, like Arya, he'll kind of, if you don't go for the handshake, he'll kind of do like a curt, like bow to you. And he then says, "The magistrate as it stands right now is quite busy with some work, but I happen to be free. Not much going on north of the gate, and the Balthanir Palace Watch are currently handling the defenses of the dam. So I'm free to do all sorts of things, and, well, I suppose I can assist you with your problem. What were you looking into?"
Well, he disappeared, and we think we know what happened to him, but we're not sure. And there's a thing underneath his house that is possibly duplicating him.
I guess a very, very important. He says, "I guess a very important matter for me to find out concerning you and yours is whether or not your lord sanctioned. Otherwise, I'll need to incarcerate you at this moment."
That's understandable.
It's funny,
but
or else
we
I
are
will
pull
no
out the
worries.
letter.
He goes,
Oh shit.
and he'll kind of look towards it. Lord Elwood. Very good.
Yeah, he's very nice.
I was surprised to hear he had taken on a group of adventurers, and it's nice to meet you for the first time. Well,
It's official.
it seems so, yes.
Show me your papers, law.
so man.
That's the state. That's cool.
He says, "You came to the cops, okay? Do not start with me just because I'm following."
Oh god, we did go to the cops, didn't we?
He
It's not the
says,
space cops.
"Unfortunately, we have no metric for us to enter into a space without a lord-sanctioned taking us. So, if you'll lead me to where you saw this heinous crime, I can perhaps do some investigatory work and see what happens to be going on."
Do you have smelling salts? You might want them.
Hear a voice from kind of down the way. Don't have a token for this individual or a picture yet, but you see a man kind of moving over with a trilby on his head, and kind of walking over. He says, "Hey, Billiam!" And the old man kind of turns and looks back. And he says, "Something newsworthy?" Smiles. I don't know yet, Mr. Caramel, but perhaps I will definitely report back to you if we have any news." Kind of looking to you like, do you want this guy to come along or not?
No. We
And,
do
Why not?
Kind of seeing
I
that
don't like hats.
dispassion from the knight, will kind of say, "We'll report back to you,
trophies. Okay.
Mr. Caramel." And John Caramel kind of goes, "Ah, shucks."
Oh wait, John Caramel. We had a thing about him. Hold on.
He's the one that told us about the Wolfman.
Yeah,
He's not the one who told you about the Wolfman.
he is.
Oh, he
Looking
is
for
the
him.
Wolfman.
No.
No.
Oh, wait.
He wants info.
Oh my
About the
god.
My notes are wrong. He's the Wolfman.
We'll get
Get
there. Just murder him.
Just more.
That's what I said about the flumps too. You know, I guess that's my go-to.
It would have been great
Just
to
want to
do.
murder something, huh, Andy?
He'll say, "Oh shucks," and kind of take his trilby off, and you can see that his hair is kind of like balding at the top. It's kind of like a very unfortunate, like very medievalian kind of like
Puncher.
It's not a perfect it's not. It's definitely a bit of a comb over too. Like there's a lot going on up there with the little that's kind of present.
He's doing his best.
Yeah. Other than that, a dashing. With the hat, he looks younger, right? Like he definitely is accomplishing something with the trilby. But yeah, he says, "Aw shucks," and kind of like turns and walks the other way. And Billiam says, "If you lead the way."
Of course.
Can we trust Billiam? I'm pondering inside my mind, not out loud.
So
Did he have smelling salts?
No, but everything you know about Billiam so far is it was inside of the keep, the magistrate's watch. He is a half elf, it looks like. He's quite a bit older, so possibly some decades and decades old, or possibly
What's-
even centuries. And he is nice enough so far. Very well spoken.
What's his surname?
Sharp.
Oh, I'm sorry, Billiam. What is your position here at the keep?
Me. I'm the Northern Guard. I'm the liaison between the Town Watch and the Palace Guard.
Liaison between the what?
The Watch and
The
the
watch.
Palace
The
Guard.
Palace Guard.
I also function as I guess a replacement magistrate when the magistrate is quite busy. And as it stands, Andrew Merrick is very busy with some issues north of here.
I wish we hadn't come to the cops. Because now they're gonna exploit. I'm thinking
If you
out loud.
If you would like, you can perhaps
Okay.
speak to Miss Keltham, and perhaps Captain Keltham can help you. But she is not as kindly as I feel I've been thus far.
Like Billiam.
Those who are town locals would know that the captain of the watch is a woman named Rhonda Keltham.
So Arya is not expressing her doubt if this is the right thing to do. She's just maybe being kind of quiet and thinking, looking pensive.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, I have to grab something real quick. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, and also try and work out whether or not you're going to trust the cops. Okay. Be right back.
So my gut is to not trust this man.
Yeah, he seems slimy and like too full of himself.
But then, like, I don't think we can ditch him now that we've opened Pandora's box. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Cat's out of the bag.
Why does he seem slimy?
I don't know. I just don't.
yeah, I'm getting a weird vibe from him.
Is it just because
One
he's
hate crab.
a cop?
No.
Yes. Number two.
Well,
There's just something weird about the way he's reacting. I don't know.
let's introduce him to Utaglub.
Then there's going to be more of it.
Copies of cops?
Well, because
Copies?
Copies.
I just can see, like, word getting back to the fucking palace that there's magic crystals and an evil thing, and they're gonna, like, go, oh, let's go exploit this resource. Like, so what if people get hurt?
But we don't even know what the crystals do, other than keep the Ulama guy down there.
Yeah, and guess what? They're gonna want to mine the crystals. They're gonna kill the flumps. You know, the first thing that they do is kill the innocent flump.
flumps. Not the flumps.
Once the cops get involved, the first ones to go are the flumps.
Yes.
No.
They're so sweet. Flumps are so sweet.
Well, the cops are gonna get poisoned, so
Okay, well,
what if we tell them to go through the
best case. Okay, so if he does or says anything annoying, we could always jump him.
Oh.
that we could just tell
So-
him to dig through that wall and then go meet Ulamog. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I think we should play it close to the vest with the crystals and don't give any unnecessary information about what we found down the way.
I already told him about the copies.
Well,
And about the tunnels.
let's see what brilliant deductions he has.
Maybe the choker will get him.
Tom, any feedback? That's not just facial expression.
He is a very excitable person, but unfortunately, I think with the jobs that we've signed up for, we kind of have to trust the cops.
Okay, fair.
We're not like rogue villains or anything. We're not
No,
bandits.
but we
like
also could serve the
Tuesday.
greater good. You know, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have to be like mindless, servants to the law.
All I'm saying is
Right.
that yeah, I think that we need to be able to be separate enough from the
Barwin
official.
also should probably be able to access like his brother's things, though.
Well, yeah, but then I think part of the problem here is the amount of danger. Like, oh yeah, I have access to all my brother's things, and then now Barwin is like getting, abducted
Choked
and
out
And
by the
apparently there's
Joker.
apparently there's a choker on the loose. Yeah. So
by the Joker, right?
whoopsies.
I'm so sorry. I need to step away.
Okay.
I mean, they can't prove that in a court of law.
Right. There's no DNA evidence as well, so
I hate delivery people sometimes, but they're great. They're fine.
I mean, did this one at least actually show up and deliver the item?
No,
Great.
they
What?
delivered it to the other side, so I had to run
God.
over there. But I recognize it because of the way they pictured it. So,
Well, at least you knew that.
yeah. No, baby.
What'd you
cats.
get?
TikTok's been trying to sell me on this monitor mount system.
Oh.
Oh, so not gamer parts.
They got me. Okay. What did you discuss?
he makes those himself.
What did you discuss?
Whether or not we're trusting the cops.
Are we trusting the cops?
We kind of have to.
You don't have to.
I mean, we should.
I
You
made
could
the
say-
argument that we had to.
You could say, because we're Lord Sanctioned, we'll do some investigation work and we'll bring it back to your captain. Or you could trust him.
I mean, I'm fine with trusting him, but it seems like others are less trusting.
I think
makes
cat's
sense.
out of the bag.
Again, you could just say, we're going to go do more investigation and we'll bring it to your captain. Because he did say, if
I
you
mean,
want to
he
speak to
can't
the
go in
captain-
there without us, so we could just be like, actually, hold on, I'm
Fine.
getting a Teams call. I have to go.
What's
I
the
got a
team
flump
called?
on the
What?
line.
Oh shit! They're talking to Flum. Kill them all.
No!
That's what I said. I said that the cops would get the cops involved. Flumps are the first to get attacked.
No,
I knew it.
not the full
So what's the plan? Are we kicking them away or no?
I think the flumps out of the bag. Let's just take them
Okay.
to the house
You
if
return.
everyone's okay with that.
We don't have to show him where the tunnels are.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Okay.
theater of the mind this. So
right,
we
all
go
right.
back to Blackthorn Blacksmith. What are we showing him?
The blood.
Okay.
Yeah. Lump it. Let's do it.
This is very serious, he would say as he enters into the space and starts kind of taking notes in a small leather-bound journal that he has on his person.
Mhm.
Very, very serious indeed. And you didn't cause any of this?
No, it's days old.
I did.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I can tell. I was just making sure. I mean, I don't know how long you've been here.
We just came in today.
More than fair. Take some more notes.
The
Wait a
only
minute.
thing that I recall we touched is the jar of arrows that got tipped over.
You
And,
did straighten those up.
The proprietor of this location, the owner of this establishment, Eric Blackthorn, he is the one that's missing according to what I was able to pull up. And you're saying that this was his blood?
Believe so. I mean, I don't know how to test blood. I didn't take that course.
Well, as a Lord Sanctioned, you have specific duties in this regard. The only one who can officiate a notice of demise is a Lord, according to the Tefros rule. So, it would be required for you to go to your Lord and ensure that he is okay with stating officially that Eric Blackthorne is dead based on your word. That said, it does look like one of the companions is in your presence. Honorable Terrain.
You would nod.
You also have the official ability to sanction a notice of demise. If it is your wish to put your name upon this official act, we will go ahead and notate Master Smith Blackthorne as dead, and all rights afforded to his heirs will be granted.
I would do so.
What was the culprit? Do we have an idea of what killed him?
That we don't know.
Then I will have to bring this to the magistrate. It will be the case that all rights and titles will be afforded to the heirs of Eric Blackthorne's estates. However, until such time as a reason for death is put to your official decree, we can't allow anyone, even Lord Sanctions, to re-enter this space.
Oh, great.
We'll be sealing it off with the watch. You can, however, if you wish to access this space, you can speak to either the magistrate or the captain of the watch. Either of them, I'm sure, would be willing to take your reasonings and perhaps allow you access if so needed. Any questions?
Nope.
Are you gonna get rid of that soup in the kitchen?
Oh yes, we'll be cleaning the entirety of the space after investigating everything. Your
Okay.
presence here will be noted when the investigator Merrick comes to look over things.
Just be really nice to the fire elemental. He's very kind.
Of course, we'll look into it.
It's Barwin's. He was just keeping it there to watch over Eric.
Interesting. You see him note that down.
Do a good job.
Okay. Well, I will be returning to the watch to gather up some men and secure this location. You folks, free to be about your way. If I have any need for questions, I will send letter to. You are with Alwyn, so you'd be at Lycoit Keep, right? On the outskirts?
Yes.
Of course. I'll send a messenger out to you if I have any need for further information.
Thanks.
Of course. Okay. And that kind of just deposits you back to Midtown. Probably 2-ish, 3-ish in the afternoon.
We could get back in there if we need to. I'm sure we could speak to someone at the keep and make it happen.
But we don't need to get in there like right away.
No, I don't think so. But I do think that what we found in the grotto might need to be, well, dealt with, especially if one of them escaped upside.
Oh, the.
Yeah. I think you're the only one that actually got choked by it, right?
That was too short of a cat.
He was screaming. I'm assuming he didn't roll any dice for me while I was gone.
No.
No.
Nope.
Yeah,
And-
that wasn't pleasant. So I think that's their problem. Unless it's like away.
There was that Wolfman issue.
And Spencer always needs help.
Who's Spencer? Spencer?
Spencer, Bruntalk, he's the apple guy.
Oh, the apple
Mhm.
guy.
Very deep well that ends in a cave. Is that right?
Yeah, and apples.
And apples.
I would also like to check in either at the magic atelier, or even with the bone collector to see if they have any idea of what the crystal is from the cave.
Good idea.
Oh, you pick some up?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Where are you headed?
They are over on the west side, right?
Hmm.
No. Yes.
The atelier is 26.
Okay, and then bone collector is
The bone collector is
4.
Yeah.
4. Hmm. Which one's closer to where we are now?
We're at the keep, so it would be 4.
Okay.
So the bone collector?
Yes, please.
Give us your bones.
Okay. So you head over, passing by North Mill. You see that there are people working on the North Mill, but on closer inspection, they don't appear to be people at all. The individuals that appear to be on North Mill are strange automatons with very narrow limbs and very kind of just dwarven looking just chassis kind of to their construction. Um, if you'd like to look at them closer, you can make a perception check. If not, just a very strange thing that happens to be working the mill and working the farm around the mill they're in.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
Wow.
Roll for shit today.
Jesus.
Me
Basically,
too.
a lot of tears and bad dice rolls just hit the table. If those at
Wow.
all were curious what was happening.
I'm not seeing.
Yeah, again,
anything.
I got you. Just always
Yeah.
assume that it's gonna happen. Just
Got it.
give me some.
Well, it
time.
kind of works out narratively. It's like we're just enshrouded.
Yeah, I
in
rolled so
darkness.
bad that I'm permanently blind now.
Yeah, that's actually what
Yeah.
you're only able to see moving forward from here on in. So this is
Both
obviously
Jijo
not.
and I rolled worse than you, though.
This is obviously not nighttime, but the bone collector appears to be a mill-like structure. However, it's not on a waterway. It looks like it's just built on the road. Um, the old nature of it seems to be a bit off. And as you come around to the front of the building, you would see that there are boxes of long bones of all different types of creatures, and then there appears to be a wagon laden with barrels and bags, also filled with bones. As you kind of approach, um, you see a small gnome, small for even a gnome, mind you, with dark gray skin and just a simple t-shirt come out, kind of look at you. In one hand, it looks like he's holding some sort of gripping device that is holding what appears to be um, a femur, and the top of it, like the actual bulb of the bone, appears to have been carved with very intricate and kind of amazing looking detail. He looks at you, confused. Ah, hi.
Hi, Snidmud. I'm probably familiar with Snidmud. I've probably come to buy magic.
Sure.
What do you call them? Components at some point or another.
Sure.
Hey, good afternoon. Sorry to bother you.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if we can't um make use of your arcane expertise.
Okay.
Do you mind taking a look at something?
I guess I don't mind. That's fine. Yeah. What are we looking at?
Okay, thanks. So Arya will approach and she'll dig for the crystal and she'll display it for him.
It's a pretty weak chaos shard.
Chaos shard. Okay.
Oh.
What
You
can you tell me about that?
you already go to the Hellmaw, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. Chaos shards are what happened to stone structures when they're kind of under the influence of the Hellmaw. More prominent down there, but this looks pretty weak. It must be on the outskirts of the Hellmaw. Where'd you find this?
Okay. It was in a tunnel. We're
yeah?
doing an investigation, so I can't get too much into the details about exactly where I got it.
You find any bones down there?
No bones.
Oh,
Any
that's too
bones,
bad.
you will be the first to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't take them to Hellgate.
No, never.
Yeah, bring them to me.
Yes, you're my number one bone guy. I know.
Yeah. I don't care what the
What?
Church of the Remembrance is paying people. Bring the bones to me.
Wow. What are the properties of these crystals?
They're chaos shards. Chaos.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does
Do
that
they
mean?
defend against anything?
Do they what?
Like defend against anything?
No.
Oh,
That's
I don't know.
We don't know anything about these.
they're chaos shards. They got chaos magic from the elemental chaos. These ones are kind of
That's-
weak. And hands it back to Arya. Probably not much to him. And then he kind of reaches back out for it. Do you give it back to him?
Yeah.
He takes it and he goes.
Typical geologist.
And then kind of goes, ugh, and hands it back to you.
That's that arcane expertise.
Not very good for craftsmanship. Real brittle. Probably breaks really easy into dust. Real chaos
Yeah.
shards, you can do all sorts of things with them.
Like what?
Well, there was a gem cutter down in Hellgate who used to fuck around with the red ones that the dwarves were mining up. The blaze hatchets, been sanctioned guys, or ale toes, I think they were called. I think they're still down there, probably mining them chaos shards. Bright red ones. I only ever saw one.
Do
What do
those
they do with
taste
them?
better?
Huh?
Do those taste better?
No, I didn't get a chance to put my lips on them, but probably.
What do you do with these chaos shards? Where do you
What
put
do
them
I
into
do with
any?
them? I don't do anything with them. I don't have it.
No,
Why
what
you-
what does one do with them?
I don't know. What are you doing with them? Points at Arya.
No.
I found it and I was curious to know
Well-
more about it.
To answer your question, Elfie boy, it seems like people are curious about them, and they find them. That's all I know. And then
Okay.
the big bright red ones, dwarfs are crazy about them, and they mine them.
Okay.
Snidmud, I'm sick of using mud and ash and pebbles to do my spell work. Could I get a nice bone wand from you?
Now, yeah, walked over to the cart and takes the bone that he has that's got the really nice detail work and just starts kind of pushing around some.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of reaches in and grabs one and then hands it to you. And he says, yeah, if you want me to do some stuff with it and make it more of an arcane focus, I could take some time. But as is, it should be potent enough. I think that one came off of a conglomerate wizard. I found it over at this weird spot. It's a bit of a ways south of here, but there was a big old sky ship crashed right into the ground. It's kind of not quite in the Cloakwood. Well, it's not really in the Cloakwood, but it's like near to there. I don't think the folks at Fort the big fort down in the far south, not the towery spindly one. What's that one called? The fort where all those soldiers are, you know.
The
I don't think
watch?
they found it. No, not the watch. That's the key.
Oh.
Or Pollux. Pollux?
No, not
Oh,
Pollux. It's the other one. It's the
there's a lot. There's a lot of them.
what
It's
is it?
fine.
Oh, Fort Butcher. Yeah, to the far south. The one that's the big one.
Oh.
Carver and Cleaver were left in ruin, and the thing that replaced them is Butcher.
I would love if you could, if you could fix it into proper arcane
Well,
focus.
how much you got on you? He looks at his femur bone.
We got these chaos shards.
I don't need that.
I'd be willing to part with a few gold.
Okay, how about 5?
Yeah.
Okay. He sets the bone back into the cart, the one he was going to hand you, and then looks at the femur he has, and then he kind of just does some scraping work and cuts off like a large section of the bone. So it's a wand, but it's kind of like it's almost like a microphone shape. The top portion, the femur, like bulb, the bone, like
Yeah, like
yeah.
where the joint.
The joint. That's the word I was looking for. It's been carved into a ornate, like it almost looks like a forest scene, with a small little like breach in between 2 trees, and then in between those 2 trees is a small little door, and then there are some symbols that are like the ones you saw on the house that you pass by, the secret hidden shack house, and also similar to the ones that are on the cave structures that the sisters of Arya lived in. I almost said the word.
The sisters.
Sisters.
Wow, you're an artist.
Yeah. Scrimshaw is my practice.
You're really good.
I do my best. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, that's beautiful, beautiful work. It's always special to see kindred kindred work being done.
Of course. And yeah,
She'll hand over the 5 gold.
of course. Thanks so much. And if you're looking for more information on those crystals, I'd suggest talking to the dwarfs at Black Spear, maybe the dwarfs, the Ailtos, the adventurers. They're around, but they kind of have the monopoly on the mining of that from the Helma.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you
that
for the
reminds me.
information.
Oh, that reminds me. I remember they had mining companies that were allowed in by Lord Tefris into the Hellmob, but they came out with these big old ticks on them that drained the blood right out of their necks, and then they died.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I think the
like
whole
that.
the whole bit of the Chaos Shard farm they got down there, or mine, is it's infested.
Oh, wait. I mean, why Atavius?
with with ticks, with these big old nasty ticks.
Like the sound of that.
He kind of like nods his head, and then as he's like not paying attention to you anymore, he looks back to the bone he was going to hand Arya, grabs it off of the thing, and starts wandering back to his house. Well, you folks have a great afternoon. As he heads back into his house, the Bone Collector's shack.
You too.
Door shuts.
So, chaos shards? That sounds weird.
It is a little alarming that something that's supposed to be tied to the Hellmaw showed up underneath the blacksmith.
Well,
I am a little concerned about where those tunnels actually go to.
is the Hellmoss expanding? Maybe? That's definitely not good.
I know there's rumors about there being other ways in.
Well, that might be one. We didn't get too far into it.
So the crystals were on the ground.
Crystals were in geodes.
Yeah,
Or
they
in
were.
geodes
yeah.
that were inserted into the ground. They're like, yeah,
They were like
They seem to have
growing
grown
out of-
naturally, like
Mhm.
crystals
Okay.
want to do.
right. So they were not brought up by whatever duplicates were being made
The
down
duplicates
there.
were
Okay.
mining them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
And there were giant ones.
right, there were large geodes and large kind of like nodules of it, and they were, for whatever reason, they were breaking the shards on the Spirit Forge. And a note: the Eric Ganger was mining them, but
Yep.
his brother specifically said the Blackthorns aren't a mining clan.
Right.
And do we know what that spirit forge was all about?
Not really.
We know we shouldn't
No,
shoot at it.
Seems like we're gonna need to go back down there at some
I
point
learned that.
when we find more information. Maybe some way to protect ourselves from the.
And I do want to make sure that one point was made that was clear. He said, "Don't go to Hellgate Town and give them your bones. Don't go to the Church of the Remembrance," which again, not many of you have, or none of you have been to Hellgate proper. So
Yeah.
I
I
just want to
remember
make sure
that was mentioned in the session 0 rundown of
yeah,
where to take things potentially.
right. But I just want to make sure that a part of it has been mentioned and there is a connect. Apparently, the Bone Collector is rivaling with a church for bones, for whatever reason.
They don't understand art.
What is the Church of the Remembrance?
Great
Can
question.
somebody help me? Okay.
Nobody
don't know
knows
what's going
here.
on.
You'll have to ask somebody who is familiar or go there yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
I like this bone guy.
He's very talented.
No funny business from him. He just tells it like it is.
Yep.
And just to
Well.
ensure, I don't know for certain, the Church of the Remembrance has no religious connotation for anybody with religion trained.
Got it. Okay. To try out the wand.
It's good. It has a very strong focus to it. It does feel like whatever this person was in life
Mhm.
seems to be allowing the flow of magic through them, like it was something that was commonplace with them. This
Cool.
may have been one of the bones that he found at the crash site he mentioned.
Right.
And if you listened carefully, especially Ranisil, I would say that you would have a pretty good understanding as to where the crash site would be based on his description.
Arya would kind of like use the wand to like kind of give everyone guidance as a test, and it's like everyone's like feels guided for a little bit. Oh, it seems to work well.
If we're gonna go back into those tunnels, we should probably go now, since the watch was going to try to prevent anybody from going into the house. If we don't do that before they start barricading the house, then they're gonna see the entrance.
Fair. We did close it though, right?
We did, but if we're gonna investigate further, if we don't do it before the watch posts up there, we're gonna have more questions to answer.
True.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with like rushing over there if
We're
everyone's
going
okay
back
with
to the
that.
Blackthorn.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You arrive back at the blacksmith. You would see that there are no watch currently. You haven't spent a lot of time away. So you would also note that Billiam has moved on, presumably to go to the watch and secure watchmen for
Mhm.
protecting the location. You move around to the back of the house. You go to the secret fire. You open the door on the back wall and re-enter the grotto.
Close the door behind us.
Okay.
Learned our lesson.
Super important.
I did not, by the
For
way.
now.
I totally forgot. Thank you, Tom, for
So,
learning lessons
if
where
you
I learned
wish
none.
to reacclimate yourself through, you can get to the same space that you were before by going north of the main entrance and then heading around to the right and then crossing the water there.
Did we miss any places that
No.
were no? This is the only way.
There was a choker nest north of you, but it
Yeah.
is no longer occupied. Freedom!
I want to
Well, now
look
we
at
can go loot the nest without enemies there.
Oh, they didn't have anything.
Not even
their.
any mo.
They're not real. They're doppelgangers.
Oh, great. I did want to look at the forge
Okay, let's go ahead and move back to that then.
and not attack it. I learned that one. Punishment
You
does
learned
work, I guess.
percussive lessons. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you come to the forge, you would see that the anvil is glowing with moonlight. The water around it and the air around it, almost like the spores down below, are kind of glowing with this bright, kind of pale moonlight coloration. Inside of this space, it looks like there are stones set inside of this pond, and from the water flow, your presumption is whatever is filling the pond above and the pond below is coming from the same source. That
Is
being,
What?
the
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that
No,
being
you go.
said, you look to the space and you can see in your current sightline there are two statues. One of the statues appears to be that of like an antelope or deer man, in robes that are very dwarvish in styling. So north of that is a badger man. And then if you come around the space and look to the left, you'll see a third statue also glowing with a bright blue fire. The statue on that side is
It's a bug.
Exactly right. It is a bug. Bug man.
Bug man.
And if you would like, you can roll, when you see the bug man, you can roll Arcana.
These are rolls.
And I just need a 10.
Rolls.
I can't roll today.
Okay. So
11.
Sol and Ronnie. Ronnie being a
Sol.
bit more traveled and sociable, and Sol having been in town and probably saw one pass through. But the bug-like creature appears to be a creature known as a dromite, and it specifically seems to be a queen of a dromite. Dromites are kind of like a strange blend of like termites and ants as people. This one appears to be queen of that. Bright wings. The structures appear to be stone, but there's a certain lifelike quality to the way that they were generated. You're not certain if that is because they are petrified, massive creatures, or if the craftsmanship of whoever made this was to such a high precision that it seems like they're coming alive in the dancing braziers of flame that they have set before them.
Spooky.
It would seem that they are integral to the magic that is present on the forge.
I was gonna ask the moonlight that's illuminating the forge and the room. Does it look like it is coming specifically from the sconces in front of each of these statues, or does it look like it's coming from somewhere else?
The sconces have like a blue fire, and it seems like they are collecting the white mists and like little bits of like glow that's kind of floating from the anvil in the center. And this was happening when you saw the copy of Eric smashing the chaos shards on the anvil.
So
New-
the moonlight is just emanating from the anvil itself. It doesn't look like the anvil is being illuminated by some other source.
The anvil is glowing. It seems to be the runes that are on it. The water is glowing, similar to the anvil, but like less bright and kind of situated on the runes. The sparkles kind of floating in the air are glowing with that same moonlight. And then the blue light is different than the moonlight colors, but it seems to accentuate the statues and the runes on the ground around the statues with that moonlight glow. Like the bright blue fire is emitting a light that is similar.
If I head over to the deer man statue and investigate those runes in front of them, does that give me any?
They are a Davic script, but they are not Davic like alphabet. So what that means is they are runes of a magical power. So unless you are trained with runes specifically, you really wouldn't have much to go on here. You can make an Arcana check with disadvantage to try and discern what they might mean.
I've been rolling so well, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Could I
and
give
see.
guidance to
Guidance
give
can
a
be
little
granted,
bump?
help cannot.
Okay, let me guide you
Just
with my little new wand.
make sure you click the disadvantage at the top before rolling.
Well,
Okay.
10?
I
So
guess it's a 10.
you're not sure.
the worst.
They definitely are of a dwarvish nature, that's for certain. And it seems that this structure is also very dwarvish as well. But you're not quite sure where or what these are supposed to represent, or the power that's kind of indentured here. The smith, the anvil, seems to be utilized for smithing, and it's probably the case that it imbues whatever is made on it or destroyed on it with the light, based on what you saw happen to the chaos shards. Oh, and where the guy was and he discombobulated, his clothes are sitting like near the water, as is the hammer he was working with is still sitting on the anvil.
Huh. Is there a ring anywhere?
No. Wrong dwarvish lords.
I had to ask.
And it looks like none of the runes are the same between the
Correct.
3 statues.
They seem to indicate different power.
Mm.
You're pretty sure at least one of the runes on the ground is responsible for the brazier being a light, though. That's something I'll grant you. Baby cat, no. Baby cat,
But
no.
what if Baby Cat? Yes.
He almost reached up and touched the power button on my computer. Don't
Oh.
tell him yes.
Well, if
Baby
you
cat,
won't let him
no.
print,
Oh,
what else is
no.
he supposed to do?
That's like one little cute pause step too far.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Baby cat, no.
Yeah, no.
Uh-oh.
This is such a fucking mystery. God damn it.
Oh, no! If you had built a dwarf, if you had built a person who does smith work, like there's a lot of things here that are not for you. I mean, that's
Number one, I would never build a smith.
why not?
I'm
I
offended
don't
by
know.
that.
Probably would.
And don't
Are
say you
you?
wouldn't build a dwarf, because I know you would.
I would.
Yeah, I already know who he or they would be based on.
Oh.
You know who.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Dungeon Meshi, folks at home.
Yeah.
We love Senshi.
Kind of.
Senshi stands.
He's the best. Boy. So back to it. It doesn't seem like there's much you can do with the forge, but let's look at the facts we do understand. This was dwarven made.
Mm-hmm.
Second,
We know where some dwarves are.
right? Second, it seems that the Chaos Shard, when destroyed on the smithing anvil, was imbued with the moonlight coloration and dissipated, presumably robbed of its chaos power and imbued with the power of this moonlight. So it's assumed that anything that is crafted on this anvil will be imbued with that moonlight power.
Mm-hmm. I think we need to visit the Altos.
Maybe we should have brought Brenwyn down here.
Fairway?
Ask some questions.
Fairwyn.
So do you wish to progress into the grotto proper, or are you done with the underground?
Like up the waterfall.
So the waterfalls seem to go into, like, there's no hole that they're coming
Yeah.
out of. They seem to be just kind of bleeding out of the stone themselves, which is a natural
Oh.
phenomenon that actually does happen. Basically,
Yeah.
for the nature is in you, because you do have nature trained, when watered, like soil or earth basically is compressed by something heavier than it above, it will kind of just let loose the liquids that are in it.
Yeah.
And it seems that the soil and rock above the space is causing the water from beneath you to kind of jut up into these waterfalls.
Right.
And it's probably the reason why the pond above this is also full.
Hmm. Oh, you mean these waterfalls?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant the ones that were like back in the grotto.
Oh, gotcha. Let's go back there. We're heading to the grotto. So if you snap back to the place that you were, flumps across the way, waterway to the right, about 10, 15 feet up, there's a cliff that separates the waterway, and it splits off into two different kind of waterfalls. If you wish to swim, you can. If you wish to use the rocks on the side to climb, you can. The water is not moving fast. There's the torrent that splays down, and then the water is quite still at the base, and it's just slowly moving kind of southwesterly. So the swim check isn't present. You can just swim up it. It's fine. The climb check will be required, though.
Swim.
Yeah,
that way?
I'm not going to be able to climb.
Splish
So.
splash.
Swim. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Gotta maintain consistency.
Hey.
We have to do.
Oh my
We
God,
have
somebody turned the waterfall back on.
You then get to
And
the
we have
rock.
to.
Go ahead.
We have to make a swim check or no?
No swim check
No.
needed. It's
Okay.
It is pretty deep, but there are enough cracks and stuff from the walls that you can kind of keep
Okay.
footing and like
Okay.
make your way across. Now, once you get to the stone structure, Ronnie, I'm going to need you to go ahead and make me a athletics check to climb up.
Could I give Lonnie a boost?
So there's no ground for you to kind of like push her up.
Hmm.
The only way you can support somebody in this specific climb effort is if you're above them, reaching down to grab them, or you have a rope to descend down to them.
Got it.
Because you're effectively
Got a
standing
one.
in a pool trying to climb up. Okay.
I got a 1.
So as you're kind
It's
of like
not a natural one, but I got a 1.
Tormain, as you're sitting there kind of like thinking like I should help her, I should give her a boost, it's probably because she keeps on like grabbing a hold of the rock and slipping into the water, and then she kind of like flop pulls herself out of the with like just the hair kind of like matted to her face, like completely drenched, like looking at the rocks like mad, and then like trying
Right.
again, and you're just like
Seeing that maybe the plan is for me to try to get up there first and give her a hand up.
you stride out and kind of like get alongside her and then smile with your plucky, handsome paladin face, and you go ahead and make your effort. Go ahead and make an athletics check. So you get up a little higher and you kind of have this like beam of confidence as you look over your shoulder down at her.
I rolled a 1 though. I rolled a 1.
and you blind. Well, again, on skill checks, natural ones don't matter. You kind of
That's still
blindly
funny.
kind of reach up and grab a hold of something, and it's slick, like there's like mushroom like matter on it, and you kind of fall back into the water with kind of a loud.
Man, what is it with our rolls?
You can
I
try
don't
again.
Thanks,
know.
sister.
Can I
So
try
I'm
again?
gonna.
One factor I want
I'm
to
gonna.
point out is a decent
Okay.
amount of noise has been indentured in this
Oh,
space.
great.
It's entirely up to you how you want to perceive that moving forward and what you want to do with that knowledge. But
Quickly.
you're not being attacked or anything crazy yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me swim forward,
Okay.
and I'm gonna guide
Tormain,
Tremaine. Yeah,
go for it again, Andy. You have plus D4 to your roll.
with guidance.
Okay, so athletics +5
And roll
plus
D4.
D4.
Perfect.
15.
So the DC is 13. You manage to climb your way up and kind of slickness to it, but once you get to the top, you can pull yourself up, and you can see that you're in like a small little area that's kind of a bunch of boulders. Looking up, there's kind of a bit of a divot in the ceiling, and the
Mhm.
stalactites are kind of like blossoming out from that divot. Um, Standing there for just a second, you could see a bit of water kind of drip from the ceiling and kind of hit the ground. And the divot I mentioned, it looks like compaction of stone and dirt. So it doesn't look like it's a solid ceiling above you, and it looks like parts of it have fallen here. Um, as
I
you kind of
am being careful about chokers.
as you kind of that's why you're staring at the ceiling. You then kind of turn around and look. If you lay down and reach down, you can grab a hold of Ronnie's hand, like if she can jump up to get
Yep,
you,
yep, yep.
which will grant her advantage on an athletics check.
Okay.
Or if you wish, you can descend a rope and tie it to one of the big boulders. If you take the time to do that, it'll take about 5 minutes, but they will be able to get up without a roll.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Nothing happens in those 5 minutes. You kind of sit there waiting in water or holding against the stone as you wait, and then eventually a rope drops, and you folks can climb up. And then Tormain, you move out onto the area around you. You can see that the waterway seems to come from a north easterly position that just goes into the stone.
Mm-hmm.
To the left, it looks like there's a small little flat across the way. To the right, it looks like there's a tunnel that continues southerly. And then on the platform that you're on, it looks like there is a skeleton with a wood and iron band shield laying next to it and a sword. Both
Board.
have a slight bit of rust to them, and the wood looks like it's been battered on its facing. There are no symbols or markings on the shield. It just looks like a pretty finely crafted wooden and iron shield.
Okie doke.
We could take these back for your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
The bones?
Yeah, he's a bone collector.
I mean, he's not using them anymore.
Magic swords wouldn't rust, would they?
They would.
They would. Okay. Let's hang on to this sword.
Okay, I'm gonna pluck a hand,
Okay.
and that'll be my bone collection.
So you would know that if you're selling these to the bone collector, he typically favors long bones. So we're talking the
Okay.
femurs, we're talking the upper arm bones, we're talking ribs, we're talking that kind of stuff.
Fine, I'll take a femur.
Hands bones are too small.
I
know that. I
they're
mean,
little.
he can use some of the parts of the hand structure to
Right.
form dice and stuff, but like other than that, it's like
A really valuable bone is going to be like a large intact
that's
femur.
right. He
Okay,
wants that
let's do
stuff.
Big canvas.
If you'd like, as you're kind of picking up the bones here, you can make a medicine check, a survival check, or a perception check, or sorry, investigation check. Whatever you pick of those three will determine what the outcome will be. Baby cat, what are you doing?
I don't have investigation trained, but I rolled a 16.
Okay. So, as you search the body here, you note that the skeleton has been here for a long, long time, possibly decades, possibly well before that. The clothes that were on this person and the leather armor seems to have rotted away, and you can see remnants of it in the stone, right? Kind of like a strange shadow effect that's kind of left over from the biological material,
Mhm.
kind of just
Mhm.
deflating. You see what looks like a, on its like back end, underneath the pelvis, a shape that's pouch-like. And as you kind of move the pelvis aside and dust it a bit, you realize that the coins that were inside the leather purse that was on this person and the 3 gemstones that were on him are still present. There's a total of 8 gold pieces, 7 silver pieces, 2 copper pieces, and then there are 3 pinkish stones that look like they are slightly different than your chaos shards. They actually look like gemstones, not just crystals.
Can you repeat the value of the money? I'm sorry.
8 gold, 7 silver, 2 copper.
The treasurer has that.
I got you.
Okay. I'm adding it to the loot,
Oh, thanks.
to the group loot. Yeah.
While that's going on, John, I'll ritual cast detect magic
Okay.
to see whether those sword and shield.
You spend about 10 minutes casting detect magic, and you'll note that the shield and the sword both have a faint glow of magic.
What color?
So the enchantment, enhancement rather, magic is typically kind of like a bluish color, but it's also kind of a reddish color in kind of a patterning. It's almost like you know those ice cream pops that are like red, blue, and white. It kind of has that kind of effect that slowly oscillates from bottom to top.
A rock pop.
Yeah, rocket pop. Yeah, that's what magical weapons and armor look like. It's abjuration, evocation, and universal, kind of just imbued, slowly oscillating amongst themselves.
That's cool.
We should probably take both of those.
With the
Seems
sword
a
and the
little
shield?
cleaned up.
Yeah, they are both
Okay.
magical.
Okay.
Good.
Now,
I'll take those.
they are currently, and this is a very fun factor to note, they are currently not in great condition. They are currently damaged. Now, what that means for you is, bear with me here as I open up our handout. We are utilizing some rules regarding the condition of items in this campaign, so they will be able to use downtime to repair items and the like. This specific set, strangely enough, the shield is faring better than the sword. You wouldn't think that on initial inspection, but it looks like the wood has um, weathered the course of time quite well. It's like it was wood sealed or something to that effect. But the shield is currently in fine quality, and the sword is currently in poor quality. For those watching at home, standard weapon that you buy off the rack is going to be in normal condition. As the weapon degrades due to failing fumble saves, fumble, you roll a d10, so on and so on. They degrade to normal to fine, fine to poor, poor to inferior, inferior to broken. And broken is no longer usable. And then if you wish to repair beyond normal, you can make your weapon exceptional, superior, or perfect, which just gives it more levels of life before it breaks.
Okay.
But no additional qualities.
Yeah, condition has nothing to do with what it does. The only 2 ones that will have, well, 3 ones that'll have traits. Broken, it's no longer usable. Inferior has a better chance of becoming broken. And then perfect has a harder chance of being broken or degraded.
Either solar area when we have time, are able to identify these items?
Not Arya.
Okay. No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, no.
Honey, I
Maybe
told you
later.
I don't fuck with that stuff.
If you wish, you can take a short rest, and very minor properties of magic items can be ascertained. If a magic item property requires like a activation command, if a magic item has like a charge that's imbued within it, if it's not something that's instantly kind of notable, you won't be able to ascertain it without the spell identifier.
But you're able to attune to a weapon even though you don't know its properties?
You bet.
Yeah, if you want to take that risk.
Curse sword time.
I know somebody who would do it.
Oh, I know. I
I know
don't see
Oh,
Brett in
yeah.
the chat, though.
Going
Brett is not in the chat.
Brent.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we don't have that guy in this game, Andy. It could be you.
No, it's not. You know that. You know that.
I mean, there's always, there's always an
Character
opportunity to
development.
do something different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called role play. Playing
There could be a day where I don't. There could be a day where I don't play a witch. I don't see that day coming, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
it
it's
can
not
happen.
today.
I
and
would ask many questions.
Fair. So again, there's a
I would
path
be
that
concerned.
kind of goes northerly, and then there's a path that goes southerly.
Northerly or southerly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this was. Sorry. This was the way towards that room.
Mm-hmm.
The south.
Yeah. I mean,
I know,
kind
but
of.
that room's full of poison.
I mean, it's not like all poison, maybe.
And again, like I said, you have a way of mitigating that. So if you wet a cloth and then wrap it around your head and like brow, so that you're kind of covering your eyes a bit, not only will you have advantage on saving throws against that poison specifically, you'd also have a +5 to your roll. The DC was 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen our rules tonight?
No, I fully expect Andy to fail. But
Or
to,
we could go northerly.
to the north, it looks like there's a small little alcove that's kind of settled there. It looks like the water that's coming from the northern portion of this is the much slower waterway. The southern waterway is a bit faster, but not like anything that's treacherous or dangerous. Oh, sorry, Elizabeth.
Oh, God.
Because of your movement, go ahead and do me a favor and make me a perception roll.
Yay! 15.
Okay. And then give me a nature roll.
Okay. Oh, God, where'd nature go? There's 10.
Sufficient. So as you come around the back there, the mushrooms are kind of present on the ground, but you look to the walls inside of this narrow alcove, and they're kind of covered with these cup fungus that are kind of green on the exterior and red on the inside. And as you kind of look at them, there's
Oh.
probably somewhere around like a dozen of them that are kind of grown to like a cluster or fruition. And your nature check lets you know that these are beast mushrooms. Beast mushrooms can be
Beast?
consumed as an action, and you can eat a single cap raw. Doing so grants you a +1 bonus on strength d20 tests and saving throws for 1 hour. Beast mushrooms are green-skinned cut fungi with a reddish interior. It is commonly found on trees or rock faces in forests or marshes.
Oh.
And the presence of like this kind of narrow space that is absolutely just like filled with humidity, like the water from both is kind of like colliding in this space in the air. It's probably why this has been like allowed to grow here. You find a total of 12 of those.
Well,
They look like gummy candy.
they do. They look like a trolley
Eat them.
something. I mean, we can,
Yeah. Get a beast
but
mushroom
we
bonus.
might not need them immediately.
You can also study them during downtime, research, and see what you
Yeah.
can't make with them.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so do you wish to cross? Oh, sorry, the waterway that's slower, the two kind of caves there. One of them looks like it's lower than the other as far as depth, and it actually looks like it would be manageable to walk in and go upstream in a very tight and narrow, dark cave. If you wish to go that way. Other than that, you gotta cross one way or the other, or head back the way you came. All are options. Shimmy, you gotta get out of here, buddy. You're doing bad stuff. Illegal.
Says I want to do.
We're gonna have to report him
crimes."
to the magistrate.
Yeah.
So I got this, because again, I'm a TikTok idiot. I got this brush, and it does a, I don't know if you
Steam
can see,
and
yeah.
the push release.
Yeah. And so, Malin loves it.
That is amazing.
Shiro
That's cute.
hates it.
Oh no.
So I just use it. I hit the button and I just put it over his head. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Water.
The dragon's here.
The dragon.
It's breathing the smokes. I can't believe this.
John, I'm so glad you're a TikTok freak.
We live the lives we live. Are we going south? Are we going north? Or are we going back the way we came?
Arya is following all
Ar-
this path north.
So you're going onto the other side, like jumping over?
I'm just following.
I didn't hear nothing about no jumping, but
Yeah,
yeah.
there's this
I think
space
you're
here,
going.
and then this cave is the water is low enough you could literally walk into the cave and head out of here
Oh
if you
yeah.
wanted to. Out of character,
What?
that is a way to a different dungeon. That is an
Oh,
exit
God.
of this dungeon to another dungeon.
We can sense
Oh,
the
God.
loading screen.
Right, loading screen detection is absolutely on. Yes.
I don't want to do that.
Well, what about over here? What about this
Yeah,
way?
let's go that
You're
way.
jumping over there. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So-
someone else needs to lead the
Yeah,
way.
the
then.
water's slow. It's
There we go.
easy to get across, not terribly difficult. Once onto the other side, searching around, it looks like a little alcove that it's pretty much empty. But I would like for everyone who's on that side to make a perception check.
Mushrooms. 20.
There we go. There are the rolls we
Okay.
want to see.
And then go ahead and give me a nature check, Elizabeth, once again.
Yay. 11.
Sufficient. So as you kind of look around, about 10 feet above you, the ceiling, as I mentioned, is kind of like a packed amalgam of dirt, soil, and kind of rock.
Mhm.
It looks like there are roots that are kind of descending down from this space. And as you kind of look around, you kind of go, ah, and you see a kind of yellowish root kind of descending down from it, a single one. And you would note this is a halfling root. And if you can get some assistance getting up there, I assume with Tormain, you would be able to pluck said root. As a bonus
Nice.
action, you can consume a halfling root. This item gives you advantage on saving throws made against being frightened for 1 minute. If you are a halfling, this item instead allows you to reroll one dice of your choice when making a saving throw against being frightened, because you already have advantage. Gives you triple roll. And the description's a bit off. It should say yellowish root, but whatevs.
Works.
Cool.
Neat. Yeah. Give me a boost. No, don't eat me.
Just grabs her by the feet and then swings her up like a sword. And she's like, I got it. Okay. Are you hopping across then to the south, or are you returning back out?
Hopping to the south or returning. Oh, and to be clear, this is not a tunnel.
That's not a tunnel. This is a tunnel.
All right.
And that's
So
the
we've
tunnel
pretty
I mentioned
much-
that leaves the dungeon.
Yeah, so all that's left to do is to check out the poisoned room.
Yep.
So
So you get together, cloth, you wrap your faces, you perform every kind of like defense you can to prepare
Sure.
yourself for entering into this space.
Cool.
As you kind of pass by these mushrooms here, the glowing ones to the south there, and make your way further down, you come to a narrow, small passageway that kind of clefts through the stone. Looks like it was intentionally constructed, but not well worked. It's just someone kind of went to town with a pickaxe and made their way through. And that's here. You want to make your way down that way. And I'll just start moving, folks. You can pass into the space beyond, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to go first.
Well, fun fact, Soul, when you walk in there with everything that you have, no need to roll a Constitution saving throw. You've already made the Constitution saving throw for the spores. You succeeded. You're immune for the next 24 hours from when that happened. And the same is true of Arya. Who that's not true of is Tormain and Ronnie. Those two will need to make a Constitution saving throw. You have +5 to the roll, and you are doing so with advantage. If you fail, then God has forsaken you, and you deserve every bit of poison.
And you have turned into flumps.
I will turn you into flumps.
I mean, that sounds.
How do you roll to save?
Click the save button. Should work.
And it's
Why?
with advantage.
With advantage and a +5, but we'll have the
the
+5 after.
save.
I'll just lower the
save
DC.
button.
You nailed it.
Where the frick is the save button?
Well, that was technically a check, but I don't think Rangers are proficient in Constitution saving.
How do you
Oh.
do that? Oh. No, I'm not.
How do you click the number underneath the?
No.
Just roll it.
So if you're
Oh yeah, I saving throws. Is
so there's a
Your
so where it
saving
says
throws?
ability scores, you go
Yeah.
to Constitution,
Yes.
and there's one that says save.
Yes. And there's like
So
a little.
click on that number.
There's a little circle that's got like little.
Well, don't click on the circle. Click on the number.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Just roll it.
then I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus.
Oh,
That was Tom.
That was me. I was just checking to see.
well,
if
that
it
was
worked.
Tom.
Yeah.
Andy, I think your sheet's broken. You have to throw away the
Close
character
it.
and start over.
So
Alright.
it's
Just close
it's
it
plus
and-
+5 in addition
You
to
don't
it.
need to add anything. Just I lowered the DC. Go ahead and just click the saving throw roll. I just need to see the roll.
Okay.
Okay, so you're fine. You would have had advantage too, so we're super good. Okay, so as we step into the space, you're covering yourself with the wetted cloth and kind of have your eyes a bit low. Your perception checks here will be at a -2 penalty because you're covering your faces. But as
Right.
you look around, you hear what sounds like a
This is a turkey farm.
coming from the north of you, somewhere in this space.
God.
Where?
What if it's that thing?
It's coming
The
from
herbal
over
herb.
here.
Okay. Yeah. I want to
whatever.
see what that is.
The Utaglub.
If you walk over that way, Tormain, do you ascend the steps?
No, I want to. I can see from here. No.
No.
Okay. I can't see from here.
There's nothing you can see besides just a bunch of spores
1 second.
and mushrooms and glowing mushrooms. You'd have to ascend the steps to see, like, on the level of the steps.
Okay, I'm gonna give Tormain guidance in case something happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
For
right.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So once
ascending.
you ascend to the top of the steps, okay, 1 second,
Boing, kaboom.
you see a person-sized pile of just red matter that's kind of just oscillating and moving. And as the spores kind of clear enough for you to see it more directly, you
Could
see
be another Eric.
at least 5 maybe 20, somewhere in between those two numbers, mouths with sharp teeth in the puddle with eyes here to there, and the thing just continues gibbering. And the
Does it
eyes kind of
seem?
turn
Fuck.
all and kind of look at you. It doesn't seem like they're reacting. It just kind of like, as far as you can tell, like the eyes look curious and confused. There's like the eyes are obviously horror shows, but from what you can tell, they look like they're just kind of, well, what's happening over there?
I'm gonna go back there and just sort of say, "Oof, this is what I saw, and it's really horrible."
And add.
Like that.
I
What
had
do
a
you what
fireball. I would throw it in there.
what do you think it is, Sam?
I mean, you could have asked it if its name was Utamli.
Oh yeah. This is what it looked like.
I don't want to ask it anything. I don't want it to come this way.
Cute.
Oh,
You
a
know,
gibbering mouth.
normally, Liz, I'd be right there with you.
No.
I think she was
This
a
guy
sarcasm.
crosses the line.
I think she was a sarcasm. To be
Oh,
honest.
was that a
Yeah.
sarcasm?
Yo,
Yeah.
dog, I heard you like mouth, so I put a mouth inside your mouth.
Oh,
So you can
God.
mouth while you're
Fine.
mouthing.
It's so mouthy.
He's mouthing off.
It's called a mouther.
What do I know? What do we know about gibbering mouthers?
Well,
I would assume they like to bite.
so what I'm going
I
to do here
assume they
is
like to gibber.
after Tormain steps down, I'm not
Mhm.
asking Andy. Andy, what do you say?
I quietly describe the horror show that I saw.
Okay. So after that description has been leased to you, Jijo, what is Arya doing in response?
That thing is dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I think we probably need to get away from it.
Okay. So you start heading away from it?
Uh, yeah.
I'm just asking
Um,
Jijo first.
Well, I would like before
Do
I
you take
turn
a
around
lead?
and walk away.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, before I turn around and walk away, I would be like, "We need to go."
Where
Like
are
that's
you
my
turning
first step.
towards, though? Are you turning towards the way you came, or are you turning towards the entrance here, or are you heading this way?
Maybe heading the way we came.
Okay. So, that said, Ronnie, knowing that this place has yet to be investigated besides, do you follow Arya as she looks like she's meaning to retreat back to where you came from, or do you wish to move into the space more proper and explore it? The wider space, not the cave that it's in.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Like
which,
over that way.
that's fine. Yeah, you said it. Just go ahead and move that way. It's fine. Again,
No, I didn't say I was moving that
look,
way.
he
well,
was acknowledging the direction.
yeah, I just
that
want to
you
make
mentioned.
sure. There's nothing here that's going to trap you or kill you. We don't need to be as wary as we're being. If you like a direction, just go that way. You don't have to overthink it, is all I'm trying to say. I'm not murdering you. If I was going to, the gibbering mouther would have jumped on you already, okay?
Right.
We're totally in a cool place. The harm is currently fine.
Mm.
What
I
is
think that she would start just by like backing away and being like, is it moving towards us?
Okay. And do you head any specific direction, or are you just holding place as Arya moves towards the door?
I literally was here and I moved back here.
Okay, so you're not moving into the cave proper. So, same question to you. Are you holding position here, where the danger appears to be? Are you following Arya as she moves towards the way out, or are you going somewhere else?
I would turn and look into this area
Okay.
over here.
Head on over that
Just to
way.
make sure.
So, Arya, you move back into the cavern structure, and then Tormain, do you follow Arya?
I'm gonna go by Ranasil.
Okay. So you and Ronnie stay there. Arya, you move into this structure here. And you would see at this point, it looks like something appears at the top of the steps And so at this point, Ronnie, you would see the creature is slowly, not quickly, kind of and becomes louder as it approaches the steps. It doesn't
Fuck this.
seem to be very fast. The best way I can kind of allude to this, and I know Elizabeth and Andy will both pick up on this, it's like those turds in Elden Ring that like literally will chase you to the ends of the earth. And if you
hate
stop
this
like a
Mhm.
mile away from them and you're just like talking to somebody, they'll eventually be like, "Ah, I got you."
Yeah.
They're that dickhead. So, again,
Oh god, I hate those fuckers.
We're fighting. We're fighting.
well, you don't have to. Again, like I said, it's not going to be very fast. You can certainly walk away from it. Make sure that is clear.
Uh,
But for Soul, you headed south and investigated. So, when you get to this position, you can see that there are two more big ruby caps. Big old whumpy spot there. And then south of that, it looks like there is something kind of catching your light, but it's just outside of your torch or your light spell light. So if you want to advance a little bit further, you can to see it. Um, and that's entirely up to you whether or not you wish to do that.
Sure.
Okay. And yeah, you can still see Tormain and Ronnie right behind you. So if you kind of move into shadow, the expectation is they'll probably follow. You see these kind of bright yellow mushroom pads that kind of extend out of the wall. At the base of them, there is an old rotted chest that looks like each piece of wood has like barnacle like mushroom structures growing on it, and the lid has been completely broken off. It's like it's split in half, and the hinges are kind of like hanging this way and that. But inside of that treasure chest is the mushroom covered, kind of like grime covered piles of wealth that appears to have been deposited in this treasure chest when it was hidden here.
I think I found some money.
money. No.
Everyone's like, money, and everyone turns that direction, and then you hear coming from behind. Okay, so if you secure the bag, so to speak, there is a total of 110 gold pieces in the treasure chest. And I need you to roll. Oh, wait, no, sorry. You are Soul. And you are Destined, right? Or am I
I
not?
believe so. I was.
Yeah, Destined.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. What weapon do you normally wield when it comes to just standard weapon wielding?
Probably a quarterstaff.
Well, that's changing today, my guy. You find inside of the pile of treasure a short sword. The short sword in question has a moon for its crossguard, and settled in the blade in the crescent of the crossguard is a heart. Um, Inspecting it, it does have some wear to it, just like from sitting, but it doesn't look like it's outside of the normal category. It's still functional as a short sword, as a blade. Um, Actually, it'd be a dagger. Sorry, it's a dagger. Short sword would fit in his chest.
Yeah. And I don't think I can actually use them, so that's.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then you'll have to get it identified or attuned to it at some point if you want to get the benefit.
Yes.
But this feels right in your hand, this dagger. Okay, so with the time being what it is, I'm going to go ahead and just fast track. If you avoid the gibbering mouther, this entire area is yours to explore, with the exception of the pathway to the far southwest. Okay, and what I will say here is exploring the southwest corner. It connects to the northern side that you were at before, which we can definitely do. But you get the vibe that that's the way it's going. There is also an option for you to descend into the hole in the center of the
Oh,
space,
God.
and it seems to lead to a place where the mushrooms have grown massively, but there are no spores.
Oh.
So that's where we'll end the session for today. And before next session, we will, out of character, talk about that decision, and we'll move from there, beginning it. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next week.
Bye.